Hello guys, this is me, Mr. Tyrex here.
And I'm Grant Harper, the emotional guy.
And I'm Cool Cole 64, man who's under a lot of stress lately. Ugh.
And the dragon is back once again.
And welcome to another session of Tyrex Lounge. This time, hopefully, we can cover the last bit of Cosmonaut Variety Hour. I'm getting tired of this guy.
Or like unvariety.
Yes.
Cosmocuck, the one who thinks Star Wars should be simple.
Soy boy.
Yes. We each have our own like trademarks of what we call him.
And the guy who has such a pretty good track record.
I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions. All right.
Everything wrong with movie critiquing, like Dunzo calls True Love Heart 94 Cancer Boy, as like grown to me calling Cosmonaut a soy boy.
Yeah, pretty much. I just call him the Cosmocuck. You call him the C word Ty. You call him Soy Boy Grant, and Dragon Lover just calls him an idiot.
Yeah. Yep. Alright, so you get ready to get this going with his track record on The Last Jedi?
Yep. God help me.
God help us all.
Guys, if I'm being honest, I've already talked about this movie in like a few videos, and I really don't want to talk about it anymore. But unfortunately for me, my opinion on this movie has changed a little bit. But just a little bit. Again, The Rise of Skywalker does change my perspective a little bit, but in a weird way. See, I kind of hate people who talk about this movie passionately, and that goes for everyone. It is a deeply flawed film that has some really fucking cool stuff in it. It is simultaneously a movie that I was not enjoying for the first half and then really loving the second half. It can be a frustratingly...
Contradictions everywhere. Why?
Where to start?
Inconsistent experience. I don't easily forgive movies for only being good for half of the runtime. I just knocked most of the points off of Rogue One because of that very reason. But over the past few years, I really have grown to settle down on how I feel about this movie. I think it's a movie that tries to do a lot, but it isn't good at doing all of those things. There are themes here that are
isn't
more
good at
interesting
doing
than
any of them.
Oh, here comes the themes argument.
Any of the themes in any other Star Wars movie. Star Wars usually isn't trying to say more than being evil is bad. And this movie has something
is
more.
Not true at all.
No, absolutely not.
If you guys actually pay attention to these kinds of movies, particularly the original 6, you find that the lines between good and evil are blurred often because the Jedi, the good side, is often seen as being quite hypocritical and arrogant and not seeing their own flaws. And in a way, it paints them to be similar to the Sith. And so therefore, that's why Anakin turns to the dark side in the first place.
And why
Exactly.
And why in Empire Strikes Back, when Luke went to go see his friends, it was a warning that he was walking to the dark side.
Yes, and we just saw that recently too. We had to watch that to get a bad taste of our mouth away.
Yeah,
but
wash that bad.
Just like a bad
out.
penny, it just keeps showing back up. Okay.
More to say about mythology, the idea of being a hero, the role of failure.
Look at that. Pretty much a downgrade, don't you think?
It's because people were so
bitchy.
Because people always treated CGI Yoda like it was the devil. Oh my god, the puppet is always so fascinating. Well, guess what? The people, like, they used a puppet in The Phantom Menace, but people didn't like it, so they referred to using CGI.
And yet
it looks
people
better.
bitched about that.
Not downgrade.
And Disney just caters to the prequel hater circle jerk.
And the mainstream media, too. Keep that in mind.
Essentially, it's not just about failure, too. No. It's about, well, yes, failure helps us learn, but it's also Star Wars is about hope. It's about finding, even when things are going horribly, that you always find the good in certain situations. You always find a glimmer of hope for it, that you can do better with things.
It's a Skywalker soap opera.
Mm.
our
The
development.
film should not have to explain its themes to us out loud. We should be able to comprehend it ourselves, but we'll get to that. Yeah.
And look at Yoda. It does not look like the puppet from the original trilogy at all.
I know. It looks like
Not at all.
it makes the puppet in the Phantom Menace look good.
The problem is that
that's
not all
debatable.
these themes are actually fully formed, and a lot of potential is wasted. Most of you already know that I do not give a fuck about people who are mad about their expectations being subverted. A lot of people say the expectations were subverted just for the sake of it, but
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
I mean,
Why
look
are
at
you making a cuntish mockery?
look at Game of Thrones. You see how many people were upset of that of the third episode? What is it called? The last night or something? Or I don't know.
I don't know. Sorry. Was
Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment. Correct me in the comment section. So, or in the chat.
Subversion of expectations can be used if it is a means of throwing the audience off, but not in a way that it makes the main characters look stupid. Like Infinity War, for example, that movie subverts your expectations in the best way because you expect the heroes to win by the end, but they don't. So therefore, they suffer the consequences of half the universe being destroyed or disintegrated, and it's all due to Thor choosing revenge over killing Thanos instantly. But I still do have problems with Infinity War, but again, the way that it handles the subversion of expectations is miles better than this abomination.
I do not think that that's the case. There are a lot of series out there that subvert your expectations and pull twists on you just so you keep watching. And this movie is not trying to do that.
Well, Walking Dead. Oh, yeah, this is like this, too.
Attack on Titan. Not familiar with that series.
No.
I do remember watching bits and pieces of it on Toonami back in 2014. So
I was pretty much more in FMA during that point.
Yeah, me too.
I saw I watched some of Attack on Titan, but haven't seen that, so I can't say much there. As for Walking Dead, no, that shit with Carl was just manipulative. I stopped watching immediately after. Okay.
If anything, I was more feeling bad for that horse that got eaten.
And Rick, the guy who played Rick left The Walking Dead.
Dang.
Yeah, because even he was fed up with the shit. They dragged the Negan arc on for what felt like 2.5 years.
Hey! You want to know something? You want to know who basically carried on an arc for too long and it never seemed to end until recent?
The Zombot.
The Zombot arc.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Just play some Walking Dead music over that, and there you go.
Ugh. It's that's why I just don't like TV series that just go on for too long. Like a series that I haven't seen though, but I heard was better was of course Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad, yeah, but there nevertheless
Also, there's shonen anime like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto.
Fairy Tail as well.
Yeah, I do like Dragon Ball and Naruto, but I just don't like how they drag these arcs on for so long. Like the Frieza arc.
Back in during Toonami days, back in 2000s, it's shonen.
Team 4-Star made it hilarious.
Yes. All right, then let's go.
Every single subversion services the plot, whether you like it or not. Snoke was never the main antagonistic focus. Kylo Ren is.
What?
And in what way was Kylo Ren meant to be the main villain.
I,
Snoke
I
is set up to be this big mastermind, but he's killed off. So
because
therefore,
yeah,
how does that
that's
work?
because Disney had no story planned out.
With no story plans, that means pretty much there is no true mastermind. And the LG6, the mastermind is Palpatine, or Darth, aka Darth Sidious. And but in the sequel trilogy, there is no mastermind. Sure, there's Snoke, but he's a quote-unquote mastermind, a fake mastermind. And
Yeah,
basically, without any planning, they treat Kylo Ren as the quote-unquote true mastermind.
Which, yeah, wouldn't have worked at all. Okay, and like for Episode 9, Duel of the Fates was just gonna have him be the main villain, but again, that wouldn't have like saved anything. Okay, he can't carry it all by himself just because he went from wanting to finish what Vader started to then wanting to kill the past for no reason. Like, and not only that, but like killing off Snoke was just like essentially. Yeah, it was the main reason why that the trilogy could not be fixed. All right, because they had nowhere to go from there. Like there needs to be
either Kylo Ren becomes the main villain in the next movie, or bring in Palpatine or retcon Palpatine's death, which they went for instead.
There's just so many other possibilities they could have went with, but they had to go with that shit. Congratulations. Good job.
Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks.
Snoke dies to
let's-
push
let's
Kylo
just
Ren's
keep- let's just
development
get through this
further.
dumpster fire.
I really love that in this movie they tell us Rey is a nobody, and I'm really mad that we had to fucking throw this away in the new movie. Right?
Because her
again, no
character
planning.
had no fucking direction whatsoever.
Listen here.
Yeah.
She has nobody. Then pretty much she is the equivalent of a Mary Sue. She's an author's she's a writer's wish fulfillment. She's Deus Ex Machina at this point. She's pretty much been created out of a molecule.
She's like, I don't know if I want to say this, but it just feels like an SJW self-insert character. It's a character that can do no wrong, and if you hate her, then you're a sexist, of course.
This is like a feminist propaganda films trilogy.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Just another example of when politics intervene with good storytelling. And also, not only that, but saying that Kylo Ren's development is pushed further just doesn't make sense. Like,
Well,
again,
and not to mention, as a female, I find it highly offensive.
yeah.
I'm not
I'm
saying
sure-
that because of the obvious, but it's because, well, what happened to a good storytelling?
Also, as a black
Yes.
person, I'm offended that Finn is now pushed to the side. I wish he would have been a Force sensitive Jedi, but nope. We gotta make way for the Wham Man. But
Also, oh wow, that definitely sounds like a girl right there. Nice.
No, bro. I don't like feminism. I'm not a male feminist. Like Tyrex, at least say no politics first. Anyway, press on.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson actually has a really good quote that I love where he says that this twist came from the idea that he wanted to explore a plot development that would hurt the audience the most. He wanted to challenge the audience with what we expect from a Star Wars story. He's not subverting our expectations for the sake of
But it wasn't memorable at all.
He wanted to if he wanted to challenge the audience, then he failed miserably. Okay,
In reality,
just because
reality-
you subvert someone's expectations doesn't automatically equal good writing. Okay, subversions have to come at when it's something that is totally not expected, and if it services the plot in a way that doesn't make if it makes sense in the story, and if it doesn't make the characters look stupid, and if he intended to hurt the audience, then boy, oh fucking boy, did he do so, and not in a good way.
If anything, it's a verdict not only on itself, but the audience's intelligence.
He's got a pretty good track record, remember?
I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions. All right.
Oh, please.
of it, he wants to challenge your perception of a Star Wars movie. He says in this quote that the Vader "I am your father" twist is effective because of these very reasons. We thought that Luke was facing off against a pure evil force, but now this revelation shakes our faith. Everything we expect.
This part of the story is not meant to. It's not meant to make the audience stupid. It's trying to make a point. It's trying to tell a story.
Yes.
Exactly.
And unlike Disney, George planned it out.
Also, if you're saying,
I forgot to mention that.
also, if you're saying that you like it because it challenges you, then why do you call the prequels bad? Because they literally did the exact same thing, except you hated them for idiotic reasons.
Not to mention, they set out clues.
Yeah, yeah, and it was like, and it was planned out since the 70s, too.
Yeah. I mean,
you
can continue. I'm sorry, I'm a bit.
Like, I'm just gonna say this: if George was able to make the story the way that he wanted, which was a saga, the reason why he started in the 70s. Well, the reason why he started on episode 4 was because of the technology at the time.
Yeah.
And so when he was able to finally do the prequels and everything, when he knew the time was right, when the technology would advance and he would be able to go back and redo things to make more sense in the full story. And so therefore, if essentially like this, though, if these movies were released in episodic order and this moment happened, do you think it would be on the same level as something, say, that Anakin's moment where he turns to the dark side would be?
Yeah, that's debatable, but
it is.
But you want to know why? Look, you want to know why Qui-Gon died all of a sudden? You want to know why Anakin's right lower arm gets cut off all of a sudden? You want to know why Obi-Wan defeated Anakin so easily in that final moment where Obi-Wan has a high ground? It's because Lucas planned it out. Planned it out before the 4th episode came in 1977. The prequels and the originals were written before 1977, and even way before the time period of the prequel trilogy. So all this quote unquote subversion that you claim that you're spewing out here is because Lucas already planned it out ahead of time. The Disney's movies, on the other hand, mainly the sequel trilogy, have no planning. No plan whatsoever. That's why the subversive nature came across as off-putting, very
manipulative,
and very off-guarding. In my ad. Press on.
Expected changed. We expect Rey to be related to someone important because Star Wars always does that. It challenges our perception if you tell us that this mega powerful Jedi is just a normal person. I love the idea of the Force being able to flow strongly in a random person, because conceptually, the Force...
Again, nice pause. Nice pause.
I really have no words at all.
Yeah. What do you have to say about that? I mean, what do you say about that?
You're supporting Mary Sue's, but at the same time, you hate Sabine for being a Mary Sue.
You guys understand why I might be a little disappointed in this kind of storytelling? She couldn't be more Mary Sue unless she was also Force sensitive, which at this point wouldn't even really surprise me.
Do you see why?
Like, what the fuck?
I think.
Do you see the fucking problem here? Why this man's logic just makes no fucking sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god! I think a certain someone which I'll not name here for obvious reasons, but he's not a bad person when I quote him this. People need to stop reading. People like Cosmonaut need to stop. Professional, especially people just supporting these trash movies, just need to stop reading Harry Potter and just read something else. I mean, I like Harry Potter. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not like, after seeing this, I'm like, I just want to ease off the Harry Potter thing. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but I just
Okay.
off.
Besides, I've seen the movies. I've kind of read a bit of the second book, but yeah.
I'm more
It
familiar with
is.
the first book, so.
It is something I have been recommended, but really, I've seen the movie so much that I just kind of don't care at this point. And really, just the way that he says that he likes that the Force can be in anyone just really just seems like
It's basically
really that's a kind of character you're into. That's just boring.
It's basically
Yes.
saying that every Muggle has a scar, like Harry Potter. Like, bruh, that's just sheer luck.
It's like
Like
Luke and Anakin had to learn the Force naturally, and they had high midichlorian counts.
yeah, it doesn't in the original universe. It didn't matter how high your midi chlorine count. It didn't matter how high how force sensitive you are and how powerful and good at you were using it. You still required training to actually do things. Rey, she just goes and uses mind tricks minutes after learning about Jedi. She whips out. She's able to get the lightsaber out of the snow when Kylo was trying to do it, and then beats his ass first somehow. And then she lifts a bunch of rocks at the end of The Last Jedi. And then she goes and uses Force Lightning in The Rise of Skywalker, which again is a really hard ability to learn.
And use two
Force
lightsabers to defeat Palpatine. The clone
and also
Palpatine.
Force healing, which is something that even Yoda couldn't do. Yeah, no, fuck you, Cosmonaut.
Thank you.
Fuck you, Cosmonaut, fuck you, you soy boy cunt. You let the equivalent of Quentin reviews, in my subjective opinion. God help.
Shouldn't really care who you're related to. This concept of her being a nobody brought power back to the concept of the Force. It makes it spiritual and intriguing again. But now she's a Palpatine, so that is...
No, I don't even like the Palpatine thing either. Okay, I do agree with that part right there, but...
Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks!
But it's not saying much.
No, if anything, this whole argument that you're making actually makes more sense with the midi-chlorian count, because essentially, if anyone could be force sensitive, then guess what? Things would be broken. Things wouldn't matter.
It's
like
stupid.
to quote from The Incredibles.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
Thank you, Syndromes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, then the universe would be broken.
Oh, yes.
No logic.
Okay.
This is what happens when you don't plan films out.
It's thrown
when
away.
you let...
But again,
keep going.
I will get to that later. I should also say that I hate when people use the kill the past line in order to criticize this movie. I really don't get why people think this is one of the themes of the movie.
Yeah, because that if you pay attention to that line, it's not just referring to the Star Wars movies. It does not referring to you to forget about the OG6. It also sends a subliminal message that Disney sent out that they want you to forget about Fox's own movies. They want you to forget about their past movies. They want you to forget about everything. Basically, the equivalent to film censorship by cancel culture. Gone to Wind, anyone?
And why LucasArts and the expanded universe are just wiped from Disney's mind because they can't make that stuff and relate to that stuff anymore.
Oh, and it's also the equivalency of I don't know, people assuming that there are people trying to get rid of, say, Sally Corn and the Freedom Fighters and Sonic.
Yes, IDW.
Even though Sega owns the rights to them now, pretty much.
Yeah. But no influence, they're defunct.
You make me happy.
Well,
I
he's
hate
an
that
idiot.
word too.
He's an imbecile. An absolute imbecile.
Why is Ian Flynn getting so much credit? Why? Why is that? Why? It's right. There be a Dunzill's broken record, but his writing isn't that good. It's equivalent to a college dropout.
and
He's a
and
liar, manipulator. He's the one who started this whole Kim Peppers just filed lawsuits because he's so butthurt about characters.
I don't want to get on this argument again. I'm gonna say clearly, I may not pretty much be a fan of Kim Penders per se, but
Ugh.
I wouldn't say he's too horrible.
yeah, we were brainwashed to how horrible he was, but nowadays, I'm starting like to think that Ken Pender's characters can still be used if he was credited, and
Yeah.
Archie did fucking none of that.
Because Ian Flynn.
And Mike
yep,
Pellerito.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Flynn turned.
If I remember correctly, he was the assistant editor on issue 134.
And the current president of Archie.
Yeah, the same one who told John Gray to do the slap. So yeah.
And fired
Oh
Carl Bowlers in a heated argument after that issue got released.
Shame that Bowlers didn't own the script. If he would have kept a backup or like a backup of a script or file, then he didn't see the actual.
And Mike Pellerito, after the lawsuit, said like we're not crediting Penders nor paying him. We're gonna do our own thing, my own take that is quintessentially Sonic.
Oh, fuck off!
And then after that, they hired Flynn because I assume he hired him because he saw him realized that Ian wants to get into the comics, wants to get into the production of the comics, but the higher ups at Archie refused. Remember, Eve said like, "Please, I'm begging you, please give me a job at Opry," but no.
Until that cunt, Mike Pellerito came in.
Just subverts even more, basically.
I can imagine Cosmonaut be like, why are people so angry about the slap? It's not like because they think Sally's a beloved character. No, she isn't. Winnie the Pooh is.
But people really, genuinely think that Joel was the hero of the first game. People played that game and watched the ending and thought to themselves, wow, Joel saved his daughter from those bad doctors. What a hero. I had people in my chat saying that his death was unfair because they brutally murdered, and I quote, a beloved character. Joel is not a fucking beloved character. Winnie the Pooh is a beloved character. Joel is a violent anti-hero. There are scenes in the first game where he murders people just because he wants to. I think
there were many reasons as to why that slap was basically there, even though it was originally meant to be Sonic and her talking.
Oh boy. Okay, I've said too much now.
Yeah, that's all I can pretty much say.
All right.
Because the villain is the one who says this. You know, the guy who's wrong. We're supposed to take what he says and disagree with it. That's what the movie wants from you. A lot of Star Wars fans take this line very seriously. They honestly get really offended when they think about it. They think that this line is just Rian Johnson looking you dead in the eyes and saying, I'm gonna fuck Star Wars right in front of you and you're gonna like it. But this is one of the points.
Exactly! Fucking exactly!
Soy boy asshole.
I've never been so flabbergasted by one's own fucking ego. Even Doug Walker isn't this egotistical.
No.
But yeah, but we'll talk about it when we get to one of his bad reviews.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Look, when we get to that, we'll get to that eventually.
Problems of this movie. It's trying to say a lot of things, and it doesn't really do that very clearly. Some of the themes that are in the movie
Sounds
are
like
kind
you.
of half-baked. The theme of failure being the greatest teacher is kind of inconsistent, and it's not really developed that well.
Like your
Oh
channel,
yeah,
like your
it was developed well. Well, in the prequels, which you hate, and were brainwashed by Red Letter Media.
Oh man, I I'd just be hard pressed to find one person who doesn't who says something about the prequels and doesn't say, "Oh, that the writing could have been better," or "Oh, this could have been happening this way." Oh, but at least they're more like Star Wars than the sequel trilogy. Well, yeah, it's like they're still afraid of being ridiculed by all those people. Like, it's just a thing that is people are so accustomed now because it's cool to hate. And that's like what started the whole trend of this stuff, which of course led to the downfall of Star Wars. All right. It's like what Yoda says to Anakin. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate leads to suffering. Our fear of a Star Wars movie coming out started with Return of the Jedi because people weren't as keen on it as the others. And then when the prequels came out, people started getting angry. And then when Attack of the Clones came out and that stuff, and when people heard that George wasn't releasing the original theatrical versions, our anger led to hate. And hate, of course, led to suffering.
Which
We
is being
chastised
bought,
George.
which Disney bought his IP.
Yep.
Yes.
And made these shitty films.
Well, honestly, I don't want to be mean and all, but we kind of deserve Disney Star Wars happening to us just because we were all ungrateful. And, admit it, we were all into the prequel hate in the beginning.
Yeah, and I was into the Penders hate in the beginning and praised Flynn.
Same.
In a sense, we get what we fucking deserve, but
Flynn,
again, failure is what's supposed to help us learn something. At least is that when a writer of a certain franchise has a vision and we don't agree with it, oh fucking well, maybe the franchise just isn't for us. But who knows? It's just how it's one's own toxicity is what leads to corporatization, I guess. All right, let's no more being down about it. Let's get through this.
And I think it's really easy for people who like this movie to say, oh, well, only the racist, sexist Star Wars virgins hate this movie. When that just isn't true. A lot of regular ass people.
No, it's how they're written.
It's how SJWs think.
It's how it's written, Cosmonaut. We're not just saying we just hate the movie because it's thieves or because it's offensive and such, which Disney just cuts out stuff that they find offensive, which makes it even more offensive.
Yes. Our thoughts of offensive in the beginning was aliens like Watto and Jar Jar and Newt Gunray because we saw them as racist stereotypes.
In which they're aliens.
People don't like this movie. There are a lot of shitty people who don't like it, but calling everyone who doesn't like
You're calling us shitty? You're the shitty person. Fuck you, Cosmic Cunt.
Yeah, I really don't like being insulted for liking media, okay? Please, thank you.
the movie a bad person isn't really fair. The movie does have a lot of elements that people might have problems with, but I think both sides of the camp are pretty unfair in their analysis of this movie. People who hate this movie and think it's the worst thing ever are being just as hyperbolic as the people who think it's a masterpiece. A lot of elements.
Says the one.
Says the one who hates the prequels.
So totally
which the original creator had a vision with back in the 1970s. But you praise this film when it's not planned out at all, and Rian Johnson did whatever the fuck he wanted to do with this movie.
Yeah. This pretty much sums up it sums up Cosmonaut's idiocy and hypocrisy in a nutshell. He goes and says one thing about a franchise, then goes and says another which contradicts it, and he tries to hide behind it's his opinion to avoid criticism. Yeah, well, opinions have to make sense, Marcus, okay?
Honestly, Marcus, fuck your opinion. And secondly, and what was that other thing you said before? You said, in my opinion. Oh wait, right, contradictions. You are a master of contradictions.
He's a master of manipulating his the manipulating his videos to make the movies look shittier than they are. He's a master of using no context for certain scenes. He's a master of hypocrisy and overall just inflated egos.
And pretending to have a very good track record.
I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions. All right.
That gets me every time.
In this movie do not hold up when put under heavy scrutiny. This is evident by how many people have made a new living critiquing this movie. The humor doesn't really work all the time. I didn't mind it at first.
It doesn't work at all.
No, it's just so fucking forced. And it's not, no pun intended.
Again, I'm not gonna say. Yeah, I'm not gonna make
the yo mama joke.
That he's maybe.
And the titty milk scene.
Oh my, yeah, that's a representation of Disney and Star Wars.
Wait a minute. Money. The green milk. The green milk represents money.
Cash.
The money is always right.
Oh no.
Money.
Oh. Scaring me a bit.
Cannot stand the jokes in this movie. The movie opens up with a yo mama joke.
And that's another problem with this movie.
Yeah, Marvel-esque dialogue.
It just felt so out of Star Wars that it approaches into Spaceballs, Family Guy, and Robot Chicken territory.
Spaceballs territory. Spaceballs.
Even Spaceballs doesn't just use a yo mama joke like that.
Because this is before the yo mama joke ever existed. Spaceballs was released in, 1987? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
This is Mel Brooks territory right there.
Yes.
And then we have shit like Canto Bite, which is just so bad. It's so bad that it kind of ruins more than you'd expect. And that's because it's centered around Finn and Rose, which is my...
it's just... It doesn't work. It's a gambling plan. That's the kind of stuff you could just find in a place on Coruscant, honestly.
Or Cloud City. Or Bespin.
It doesn't matter. Even people who like this movie can't defend the scene because it's just so horribly written.
This is basically a discount Bespin, really.
Basically, this is basically Canto Bite is a love letter to a certain place that Disney wants to pander to. You guys know what I'm talking about. But not to mention the name Kanto. Golly, that name Kanto sounds like a certain setting in a video game, a well-known video game, as the first generation of his well-known franchise that I played in the past. I wonder what that name of that place, that setting in the first generation of that game, of an already beloved franchise, could be.
Wasn't it Pokemon you said before?
Yeah, that's correct. Gen 1 Kanto with a K.
Right. Okay. Well, you already.
Sorry if I was a little away. I had to take care of a little something. Anyways, what was I hearing? Did I hear something about Pokemon?
Yeah. Kanto Bite.
Except this time, Kanto has a C at the beginning instead of a K, thus Canto Bite.
It's just the name of this planet sounds similar to that in the Pokemon. Yeah, that's all.
Bite.
Oh, kind of sounds a little similar to the region. Got it.
Okay, let's go.
Biggest problem with the movie. Finn is one of our main characters in this trilogy, or at least he was supposed to be.
Of course, but Disney had to cater towards the racist Chinese.
Even recently, they failed to actually cater to them this year, of course.
With the
Mulan.
After after 5+ months of waiting, it turned out it wasn't fucking worth it.
No, they took out everything that made the original good, made Mulan a Mary Sue, and
not to mention they failed to pretty much make a they failed to make a female character to be a villain too.
The editing was terrible, and it just
I haven't.
it just lacks any personality.
And the biggest sin of all, replacing Mushu with a freaking Spire Chicken.
I'm so glad I got the VHS tape of Mulan and someone
I have not watched Mulan yet on Disney Plus, and probably not going to spend $30 on that at all.
No, the fact that they're actually charging you that much for that shit anyway is criminal. Okay, you could watch the original for nothing at all if you have the streaming service.
Yes. I feel like it could have been like $24.99 or $19.99 or $15.99. So, you could have made more money with that if you're just playing to make money. And even though it's still shit, no matter what price you're going at. But $29.99 is another reason why I'm bitching about the Mulan remake right there.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, God.
The money is always right.
And the best part yet, it was glitchy on the release date.
Just as glitchy as the original Japanese versions of Gen 1.
Yes.
Well, how ironically unironic.
And also Anomaly got caught in the glitch too.
How does a movie be glitchy? It just didn't run properly, I guess.
Guess they used a glitchy digital source file or something.
Well, you should know not to get something on release day anyway. Yeah.
Okay, we saw him learn to fight for the right thing. And now this movie is about him learning to fight for the right thing again. I defend Rian Johnson a lot, but I do think he...
there we go!
Oh, really?
Yeah, you had a few takes that coincides with other people having problems with the last... Jesus Christ, Cosmo, you need to be more specific. Please, you need to be more specific.
If this is what you call a good track record, then I'm sorry. Your standards are fucked.
I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions. All right.
Yes.
I just got done with pretty much doing another Pokemon comic page, and even I basically had a little more focus.
In each of the Star Wars movie review videos, your track record is beyond fucked. In your logics and arguments.
I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions. I misunderstood Finn's role in this story. But now I'm going to have to say something that I really didn't want to say. Something that I haven't talked about in my other videos. And that's because I'm someone who likes this movie, and people who like this movie aren't allowed to criticize it in this way. But fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I don't like Rose. I cannot stand...
Yeah, racist. Get out of here.
Nah, but I agree. She was not a good character to be written at all by Rian Johnson. I don't hate this actress at all. I would not bully her. It was just Rian Johnson's way in writing her.
Look, to be honest, if I was Finn, the quote-unquote human, if I was Finn, the discount human, who was originally a stormtrooper and a janitor, I would rather have Aiden Rose by my side than Rose fucking Teacup, but that ain't saying much.
Well, that's because just everyone in this sequel trilogy is just not written well, okay? Because, again, no planning, a plan for no, a failure of no planning is a plan for failure. Okay.
And John Boyega is the actor who hates doing this sequel trilogy the most.
Yeah, he freaking deserved better. Like, they could have made his character, if they scrapped the EU, they could have made it similar to Kyle Katarn, but no. They just had to do nothing. Because, it's like, again, J.J. Abrams, he just goes, he has an idea, and he doesn't go through with it. He just leaves it up for other people. But then, of course, Kathleen Kennedy goes and hires a person who doesn't understand the franchise. And so, therefore, nothing gets done.
That's the equivalency of what Sega does when they hire people who don't really know Sonic.
Pontac and Graf.
You know what? That's a pretty big parallel too. It seems.
Especially when you busy hire people who work on Happy Tree Friends.
Yeah, they even flat out said those two that they
Baldy
had never actually
McNose
played.
hair.
Baldy McNose. Okay, I'm starting to hate that line now. Baldy nose hair / baldy.
I thought it was funny and for a villain name to
it was
Sonic
funny for me.
at first, but now I cringe like this.
Yeah, I mean seriously.
It's really
They called
bad.
him. He called him mustached egg in the Japanese dub, at least.
It's better though. It's not much,
Yeah.
but it's
Not very long in the universe could stop me. Subtle.
People actually liked that line too.
I
That
don't.
still makes me cringe.
best boss battle beating ever. Or
Oh, and another thing, bring up and also Lost World. It doesn't help as well.
this is like
Japan,
Deadpool. This is just like a half-assed Deadpool would say.
Ugh.
You know, it's really bad when the DLC levels are actually a little more fun because they actually bothered to do fan service.
Yeah,
That works.
even though I eventually sold the game, yeah, it was at least nice that they did that.
Yeah, and also Night. I'm surprised they actually did that. I wish it was an actual game.
Mm.
It's like they come from Night more than they do Sonic.
It just these companies are they're just incompetent. They just throw shit at the wall, expect it to stick, and then
and then you have other people who actually know what they're doing, and they're gonna stick to it, to what they know best. Excuse.
Wow. Yes. All right, let's go.
Her role in this story. She is on the list with Count Dooku as one of the most bafflingly misplaced
Fuck you.
characters in Star Wars. I do not understand why they put her in this movie. And it's even more embarrassing that the next movie completely ignores her. Because while I don't like her in The Last Jedi, I didn't have anything against the idea of making her more important in the next movie. But nope, she gets effectively kicked out of Star Wars while still being obligated to show up for it.
Yeah, and that's another fucking problem too. J.J. Abrams ignored her throughout that fucking movie without even like trying to improve the character.
Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks.
She's already broken characters at this point, so
yeah.
But they could have made her. They still could have made her role work and everything. They could have made it better, but of course, they just had to listen to because Disney only likes listening to fans and not going by what the franchise built up in the beginning.
quote unquote fans like regular media.
Well, yeah, they just only listen to certain people that they like to appease and pander to. They just, again, they don't let the story grow organically, and yeah, well, yeah, you get the idea. And also, fuck you for comparing her to Count Dooku. Okay, Count Dooku is a great character. All right, don't you ever compare him to Rose. Okay, he actually is integral to the story.
I just feel so fucking bad for Kelly Marie Tran. She never asked for this shit. And it's not her performance that I hate. I just don't like her role in this story.
Okay, that I do agree with.
Yes, it's the writing. It doesn't matter how good of an actor you got. If the writing's not good, then it can make anyone look bad.
Finally, some decent argument for once.
Yeah, I am surprised. Nani?
She exists for two reasons. To give Finn another love interest because God forbid he's one of those gays. And to teach him that war is bad and that he should fight for the good guys. But why the fuck is she telling Finn that war is bad? Finn, the child soldier who abandoned his fascist military. I get the feeling that this guy should already know that war is bad. There should never be a scene where the former child soldier looks at children and realizes, wow, kids sure are affected by war. I had no idea. If you ask me, this whole movie would have been so much better if Rose was replaced with a different character named Poe Dameron. Poe and Finn should be in this movie, interacting with each other and developing their own personal arcs with one another.
You know what? I can't argue what should or should not be here because it's Disney, not George. So you can argue whatever you like right here in this territory.
Yeah, again, at least this is this is somewhat of a decent argument, even though I would have written Finn a little differently. Like, I would have written him to be more of seeing the point of view from the First Order, which he was raised by, because he sees them as the good guy. Like, from his point of view, they are, and Poe Dameron is for the New Republic. Like, that could have been a more interesting dynamic if it was, written better.
But I don't see it as a gay pairing.
Well,
Yeah, not
I
at
never
all.
said that.
And watch Mojo regurgitate that point, too.
Wait, they did?
Oh,
Yes.
Whose point was it?
Well, not a big surprise. Okay.
I'll be honest here. Sure, they're gonna be people. Sure, they're gonna be those type of people who work together and such, but that doesn't mean it's gonna lead to that kind of stuff of a relationship. It's more about, like, say, you have comrades. They're your friends. You're sort of they're like family of sort. That sort of thing. Not shipping.
And there was another thing that Ian Flynn did in the Sonic comics.
Go ahead.
Sally and Nicole being together.
Seriously, those two are more like sisters.
And it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, it comes right the huck out of nowhere.
And it's only as a means to not allowing Sonic to have a love interest. That's it.
States that, oh, if Sonic went for Amy, then Sally should totally go for Nicole or something. It was basically an interview I heard of.
And yeah, he no longer has control of Monkey Kong either.
Okay,
Okay.
don't spoil anything if it's Archie. All right.
It's okay.
I'm fine. I'm fine with spoilers for Archie because he can fake my ignorant self.
But then Yeti pretty much read on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Please no spoilers for Cool, please.
Another.
Okay.
Poe is the
All right.
character that needs to learn that war is bad. He thinks it's fun to fight and blow shit up, and someone needs to teach him that he's wrong and that war can be cruel and unforgiving. If only we had a character who has experienced the horrors of war on a personal level. Oh yeah, we fucking do. His name is Finn. Finn should be the one giving the speech to Poe about how war is bad. But no, for some reason Disney tried so hard to create this no-homo environment between Finn and Poe. They thought they had to keep creating female love interests for our male characters. Finn gets...
I
don't get it.
It's just like love interest after love interest. He has no direction either. Disney doesn't story plan.
They can't
Yes.
about him. He's
That's
token.
why it doesn't work.
He's a token
And
black
also, I'm pretty sure that Poe himself knows that war is a bad thing. Okay, he was fighting against a dreadnought, which was going to try and blow up the fleet. Yes, I'm sure he knows that.
I'll bring it up right now. I'll say it. Walt Disney be rolling in his grave.
Yes.
He's been for a little while now. All right, we gotta pay our respects to him. All right, Walt,
Yes.
you're a man of great things, and whoever's running it, and Bob Iger, you're a cunt.
God.
Boy, what did I get myself into?
Mickey would say that too.
Disney has literally lost their magic.
One word.
3 love interests in this trilogy. Poe even gets one eventually.
Not really.
Not really. It's just she's
dead
more of
wrong.
a friend. Like,
Or maybe 1.5.
I don't see that at all.
no, you're not.
And don't even point that. Get
Or
that
maybe
character
1 and
out.
2 halves.
I like him.
Dude, enough.
Me too.
Everything.
Okay, that was cringe. Don't do that again, please.
Cringy.
Also, yeah, sorry. Rest in peace, Carrie.
Outside of the last half of this movie feels like a weird spin-off. It feels like a filler story until Snoke dies. But once Snoke does die, it was honestly like a whole new movie
shock
started.
value for the sake of shock.
Yeah, that face that Snoke pulled up, though.
And this is where I'm divided, because I don't think this is a bad movie, just a disjointed and confused movie. This movie is nowhere near as bad as people say it is. And the worst thing that I hate in the whole world is when people try to say, The Last Jedi is an objectively bad film.
Because it is! It's not by the original creator!
It shits on everything that he set up.
Oh
in
my
his
gosh,
movie.
look at Godzilla in the background. Look at Godzilla in the background.
Yes, represents our pain. Oh
Look,
no.
it's your grandfather.
Oh, yes.
Jedi is objectively bad movie because it's poorly written crap.
And not by the original creator, who had a vision, unlike Disney.
And like, again, I'll say this again. If you watch Return of the Jedi, then watch the sequel trilogy after it, in the story timeline, objectively, things don't make sense. Okay, why is Luke hiding himself on the island? Why is Han suddenly a smuggler again? Why is Leia Organa? I thought they married at the end.
That almost sounds like Morgana.
And
No,
also,
that's-
yeah, why? And yeah, why is there? Well, how did the First Order come to be? Okay, how are they so big now? How are they able to build Starkiller Base and nuke 5 planets at once?
That is so universe breaking.
Like the way, like it could have worked better if it was Thrawn who built the First Order out of the last remnants of the Empire, and if they started out small but then quickly rose up by the end of the trilogy.
And the Star Killer clone tries to be be the Emperor of the Galaxy.
Yeah, of course Disney had to decanonize those games. Ugh.
It's no wonder Palpatine's in the Rise comic group because A, my OT fanboys him, and B, Snoke is fucking dead. Dead.
Yes.
I'm dead. There's no AVGN reference intended.
Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks.
Alright, we can get this.
Nigga,
What the heck, man?
An objective review of The Last Jedi would look like this.
Star Wars Episode 8 is a movie. This movie has characters. One of those characters is named Luke Starkiller. There is no Boba Fett in this movie.
The fact remains this.
Okay, no, that's not the correct usage of the term objective. Okay.
No.
Let me try to give an example as best as I can, alright? Okay, so I'm a person who hates Teen Titans Go. That is a subjective statement, but I know that a lot of people actually like Teen Titans Go, and a lot hate it. That is objective statement. And when I say that Teen Titans Go is a bad show, but I'm fine, but I say it doesn't get, but then I say that it doesn't deserve all the hate that it gets, then that is an objectively incorrect statement. That is a objectively contradictive and stupid statement that I have made.
Yeah, it's hard to be objective and subjective, but you gotta be mostly subjective at this, and work with your track record.
Okay, how about this? George built a saga from the ground up. That is an objective statement. It is his original story. That is an objective statement. People don't like the prequels. That is subjective. People, hate the sequels because it ruins things from the saga. That is also subjective, but really, the sequels are objectively don't make sense. They intrude on the storyline and they hit the reverse they hit the reset button
Do
on things that
you know
happen.
what also don't make sense? Like, after you continue a Sonic game, and then after you continue Forces and IDW, it doesn't make sense after you play Adventure 1 and 2 or something. Heroes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because think about it, those games, since like Adventure 1 and 2 and such, you go from there and such.
But
If
once you
anything,
and if you continue from the games when reading IDW, you see, in fact, it doesn't make sense.
Because they always look. Because they always add nostalgia especially from heroes metal Overlord, which continuity wise, even continuity wise, makes no sense to be here because it's
well,
so
he calls
darn
himself like
perfect.
the the Metal Master Sword. I don't know. All I can say is that version of Metal Sonic, or at least Overlord, he looks so like he's not at all that terrifying.
It's like it's a joke. And the illustration
Wow.
doesn't help either, and also its purpose doesn't help its case either. Because look, illustrations.
And the biggest problem I have is, where are the humans in that world in IDW?
Yeah, seriously, the only one there is Eggman, and we don't see anybody else.
It's simply called Sonic's World, people. No Mobius, just Sonic's World.
Mobius was still a thing.
No Mobius, no Earth, even though Mobius was canonized by Sega.
Yes. So for this day forth, we still call it Mobius. Don't care what people say. It's still Mobius.
Yeah, I'm still for Sonic's World. I'm referring to Mobius because Mobius is the only name I can stick around to.
It's
Mobius.
a catchy planet name.
Yeah.
Really, it's just Sega, I'll admit, kind of opened up a can of worms when they put Sonic in the real world. Like they could have, they made it work. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't work. Okay, they made it work with certain games like Adventure 2 and Unleashed. It's just that they don't specify enough where Sonic actually came from in the first place.
Yeah.
I feel
like the movie explained it, like at least.
Yeah.
All right, back to Star Wars then.
Please do.
Some people make the worst fucking arguments when it comes to this movie. Movies just tell you flat out what is going to happen, and then those events happen. There's nothing to surprise you, and there's nothing to enjoy. Along the way, you're gonna see classic characters acting stupid, acting out of character, but no, remember, these are the movies that are better than the new movies. Remember, guys, these movies understand Star Wars. The Last Jedi isn't a real Star Wars movie, but this one is. This one gets to be a real Star Wars movie, and guess what, guys? We still have one more to go. 3 out of 10. I hate that you all made me do this.
Well, you're no bad. Well, you just contradicted yourself again. You just contradicted yourself again. I don't have anything to say.
Read.
Let's hear that again.
Let's hear it again.
Characters. One of those characters is named Luke Starkiller. There is no Boba Fett in this movie.
The fact remains that some people make the worst fucking arguments when it comes to this movie.
They make the best.
At this point, you should just name yourself Contradiction Variety.
Says the guy who said the shit, who had the worst arguments in the would say worst arguments with the prequels.
Oh God!
Star Wars should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple.
Remember?
But no, it also has to be challenging too, and it has to have themes.
Themes everywhere. So many emotions. Oh my God. So many.
Oh God.
So many emotions. No political bullshit. It's amazing.
My head.
It's killing me. No Ultimate Spider-Man reference intended.
We all know that if this fucking monster showed up in The Last Jedi without having been in Empire Strikes Back, there would be people saying, "Oh, how come that worm can breathe in space? What?"
It's a space monster.
Yeah. Who are you to say that it can't breathe in space? You're not the one who's creating it, shit ass.
An objectively bad movie. Bombs can't fall in space. Admiral Akbar died. Luke was mean.
Oh, you
Green
fucker!
milk.
Oh no! And I paused on it too.
Oh my god. Well, so. Let me get this straight. Let me get it straight. You can cry that the prequels are garbage, and also
then make a mockery of how people don't like parts about The Last Jedi and why they don't like this film.
But you're okay. But you're okay with Admiral Akbar, voiced by Tom Kane. Tom Kane, mind you, gets annihilated after TIE fighters just shoot up the bridge,
and was replaced by Admiral Holdo, which is a feminist propaganda as well.
Blinded. You guys always bitch about the prequels. It's not being like the original trilogy, but you're fine with characters from the original trilogy being killed off because what else?
In an anticlimactic way.
Here, I'm sending a bit of music for you guys so you can listen to later. After this thing.
Seriously, just every scene in this movie is just fucking disrespectful. Okay, Luke tossing the saber, Leia looking at the screen almost like it's a farewell from Carrie Fisher. Could have been the perfect time to.
Hey, Gold.
Hey, Bat.
Hello,
bro.
What the hell,
bro?
Okay. Where was I?
Also cool. He says, but my dad loves to laugh at the part where Luke throws his lightsaber. I'm like, what? I should be heartbroken by that.
I was like, what the fuck? At that scene
Luke,
for the first time.
And people actually like to compare it to when he tossed his lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. Okay, well, that was in defiance of falling to the dark side, okay? Yes, Emperor Palpatine is telling him to slay his father, which, he just cut off one of his arms, but he realizes now if he does that, history will be repeating itself, and he will fall to the dark side too, so he throws it in defiance, saying, I am a Jedi, like my father before me. And that is a heroic moment. We realize that Luke is no longer going down the same path his father did, and that's why it's powerful. While Luke throwing it in The Last Jedi is just, he throws it because he's become a hermit for some reason, which makes no sense. Okay, him being a hermit just is so disrespectful to his character. It's fucking just spitting in the face of Star Wars.
Yes, to a point where I'm thinking that pretty much.
Yeah, Gold's in the chat.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Black.
Hey.
Had to rejoin.
Hey, it's okay. You're here now.
Is it glitchy on you?
No.
No, it doesn't sound that way.
It's everyone. This is the Golden Bat here. You probably would know him from my channel.
Oh, Golden Bot just joined.
Hey.
Hey.
Golden Bat.
Hey, Gold.
Hey, you came at the most unexpected time, Goldie.
Oh, he's sweet.
No!
Oh, man.
And here's a heads up. This here is their version of Eggman.
Oh my
god.
I'm feeling the same way. Okay, let's not bring that up.
Anything about the please.
We already done enough ranting about that. We're doing Star Wars here.
Let's just rant about J.J. Abrams and the other people who made this crappy trilogy.
Ryan
Abrams,
Ryan Johnson.
Celtic Panther.
Yeah.
He made. Let's see here. He wrote. Taking Care of Business, the second film for Hollywood Pictures, a Disney division, mind you. How ironic. He did Super. He did Law. He did Lost. He did Super 8. He did Star Trek. He did Star Trek Into Darkness. Not to mention he did let's see here. He also did Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And do you have other movies they did? I think some of his movies are slipping on me. But
I don't know.
Jesus Christ, all of them are. I never probably seen Lost. I've heard of it, but I don't know. But J.J. Abrams like output work is not doesn't convince me to want to watch it. It's never mystery box. Mystery box.
Star Trek
In terms of the content of it, you look at stories, you think, well, what are stories but mystery boxes? There's
movies.
Also, I don't really care about Star Trek movies, but honestly, I don't really.
Look, I was
oh
a
yeah,
fan.
Star Trek Beyond, yeah. For some reason, in a now deleted video, shills for Star Trek Beyond, which the critical drinker, yes, he took a shit on the prequels because red letter media, but he made a great video on Star Trek Beyond, which is called Star Trek Beyond Stupidity.
Oh yeah, I saw that recently too.
Yes.
That was I do like the critical drinker despite his prequel hate bias, but I think he makes really good points towards the sequels, and he actually made a good video on why Anakin is not a Mary Sue. Yeah, because his storyline in the prequels is actually well written.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Okay, well let's.
Ray over
Basically,
here.
the sequel trilogy is basically the fanboy. It's basically the SJW fanboy equivalent, OT fanboy equivalent to the Star Trek reboot on films. So, oh my.
He said, Star Trek didn't work. Well, time to go Star Wars.
Yep.
Oh my
gosh.
Take everything that's on Star Trek and
I
do
believe
it.
that I pretty much know someone who actually likes these movies more than the originals.
Hell.
Look, it's okay if you basically like the movies, just don't try to be mean about it. Don't try to offend people. Just see that. I like this
the
movie.
fan.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what Fairy Tale does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is Fairy Tale. This is your brain on Fairy Tale. Any questions?
We might do him in the future. Yeah.
And of course, the dumbass critic.
Discount Dr. Robotnik.
Oh, did I mention that J.J. Abrams called fans sexist? Not like Ray. They're after the release of the Force Awakens. So
Your audio got cut.
oh, my audio?
Yes, your audio.
Say it
was
again.
cut.
Sorry.
Sorry. Did I mention that J.J. Abrams called Star Wars fans sexist or misogynist for not liking Rey after the release of The Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
well, we
that's
know.
something
We're
you
not
do.
surprised by that either.
This is the equivalent to director and founder of Blur Studio, Tim Miller, calling Terminator's fans misogynist for not liking the female lead in Terminator Woke Fate.
That
What am
is
I
a
thinking
big
of?
go
What am I
fuck
thinking?
yourself right there.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Tim Miller. This is the same guy who founded Blur Studio, who also handled Cinemax to Spider-Man 2002 game, to Spider-Man 2 the game, Deep Rising, that hell sequence in South Park Bigger, larger that South Park movie.
Yeah, that's South Park.
And also
Bigger, longer, and uncut.
Sonic 06. Sorry about that. Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic 06, Halo Wars, Halo 2 Anniversary, and then you see the founder of Blur Studio calling Terminator fans misogynists. Keep in mind he's also the director of Deadpool. Oh my!
Hold on, that reminds me of like the guy who was, directing the Devil May Cry like reboots, and he didn't give a fuck of what the fans said.
I mean, it's one thing to disrespect the fans, but
He
really,
disrespected
you shouldn't try to take you shouldn't take full advice from fans, okay? But you shouldn't also try to disrespect them and call them fags.
Look, I'm just saying, like, some fan backlash is well needed. I mean, we've seen what happened with Sonic.
Well,
God.
that's a different story, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's a positive note for listening to some fan feedback, though.
All right, well, let's go.
Those
we
elements
keep going.
do not make a movie bad. Poorly developed character arcs, a badly paced story, and misplaced inappropriate humor do contribute to a movie being kind of crappy. This movie has all of these things, but there are other elements that I think are handled really well. Like it or not, Luke's arc is fully defined in this movie, and it makes perfect sense.
Welcome to the Civil War.
No, you're making it. You're making the Kingdom Hearts
You're in the Clone
games
Wars, baby.
actually sound like a much better complex story compared to this.
And most of the time, Kingdom Hearts story goes light, dark, heart, light, dark, heart, keep light, heart. Oh, Mickey's here somewhere.
It's just a pancake.
And I like the Kingdom Hearts series, and it's written much better than this.
I have the first game. I never got around to it.
Plus, the characters actually stay in character and evolve through time.
Yes, saying that Luke's character is fully defined here when his character already evolved in the last 3 movies is just stupid. Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, him going as a hermit because he attempted child murder is just so disrespectful, so contradictory.
Makes no sense. That literally makes no sense.
Oh, Gold. Also, Gold. He in the previous when he did the prequels, he compared that Yoda's a crappy character in the prequels, but Luke is a great character, and Luke shows how a Jedi should operate in the Last Jedi.
Because Yoda uses the lightsaber when he wants to get his hands dirty.
Go ahead, Gold. Say what you need to say.
Wait, me?
What?
I bet the bat.
Most ridiculous.
Fine, Gold.
That's backwards stupidity. Do they have to say what balls do they got that is replacing their brain cells for them to say that? Does this guy just like huff like paint every night? Was he
he just regurgitates from "I Hate Everything" and Chris Stuckman.
No, he
Also, keep in mind, Luke being a hermit is equivalent to how Miles Teal's Prower all of a sudden became a stupid little bitch and a coward who was always hide behind rocks, starring with Sonic Unleashed.
And not to mention just the techie. He doesn't really do much to fight.
Yeah. I just hate when Tails like, I need Chaos! Sonic, help me! You took on Chaos.
Sonic Adventure 2 has it, but only
Chaos Zero, you mean?
Through the life.
No. Tails took on Chaos 4 when he was even younger. Why the fuck are you getting?
He took on the Egg Walker.
I know.
Yeah, in Sonic Adventure, Tails is freaking arc is him being more, not cowardly. And he saved the city.
Basically, Tails' arc in the adventure games. Well, basically the first adventure game. Basically, Tails is just pretty much throughout the entire storyline. Tails pretty much did the Dr. Ross Jennings. Same that character who's afraid of spiders from arachnophobia. So, sorry for the unironic irony, but I can't resist. I couldn't resist. I mean.
This is why we had to keep pausing, because this guy's idiotic logic.
Yeah, it's just hard to get through this without pausing every
This is
time
more-
he
this is
every
more-
time he
this has
opens
more
his
puns.
fucking mouth and just spews crap.
Again, we're sorry, Ashley.
No, it's okay. It's Goldust talking.
If he was the same character as he was when we saw him last, it wouldn't be that exciting. I talked about this a lot in the other video, so go watch that if you want more detail, but the gist is that...
And I was mad at that too. Angrier.
Yeah, no, it was your logic was still shit there.
Yeah, nice pause. Nice pause.
Wrong.
I just never felt I've never felt so bad for Mark Hamill in my life. Like he's a man who fucking played one of the greatest and most looked up to heroes in all of cinema, and then he's given this asshole who directs him in a way that who directs and writes him in a way that completely betrays his character, makes him a hermit. And makes him drink the fucking milk. And there's a video where it shows how just fucking like he looks like he wants to die when he's doing that because of how much of a piece of shit Ryan Johnson.
Oh, and also
it's like what Rob Schneider does with Superman. Like that's not Superman in those damn movies. It is
Zack Snyder, you mean?
Killer. It's Zack Snyder. Sorry, the Snyder cut or something.
Yeah. Or
is there really a difference? Both of them are terrible.
What you need to do is pretty much just put Luke scream over this type of video, and there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry for the Kazooie laugh. It just felt the need to be done.
Okay.
Breaking somebody's neck, Batman.
Samp, if you ask me.
Uses a gun and is in Afghanistan.
Uses a gun.
Yeah.
But that was a dream, though. But still.
Yeah.
That I really can't get behind the fact that people are mad that Luke doesn't operate the way they want him to. This story...
Because that's not how he fucking operates!
Oh my god, it's like he's trying to force choke the guy talking about this movie.
Yes!
That's kind of what I want to do.
Oh god, why would you say that? Basically... Oh god.
I gotta pause this every time because this idiot's mouth!
His logic is so bad.
This is going to be a 5-hour video.
And people still look up to Cosmonaut and say he's a great reviewer. Yes, totally. This man just goes and says, oh, you look up to this character, but you don't like it because the way he doesn't operate. And also him. This is how a Jedi should operate in my mind.
Why do you think
unlike Yoda.
Why do you think I pretty much am more of an Ice fan than I am a Sonic fan?
Yes.
People only hate this movie because it isn't what they wanted it to be. Says the one who fucking hated the prequels because they weren't what he wanted them to be.
It's the equivalency of thank you,
oh my god.
Sorry, I apologize for that annoying childish crying, but it needed to be done.
Yes,
it was less childish.
That's Cosmonaut, Teddy Rumpskin, Red Letter Media, Chris Cuckman, you name it. Retarded Matthew, Discount Dr. Robotnik, and the Amazing Ass Clown.
Oliver Harper.
And also Shea Frilla.
And Confused Matthew.
Don't forget the Lightbringer.
And Disarmed Wolf, the Word of Wolf, Ralph the Movie Maker, and Dunsville, because Dylan Thomas especially, and Alice Hedgehog. Seriously, Alice Hedgehog. If you have something to say about the prequels, just tell me. Don't cower away like a fool.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to tell you my personal opinions about the prequels.
Go ahead.
I like them.
Good.
So there's a few things that I don't like in it, but overall, it's a good trilogy. I was saying every movie is going to have some problems. Some of it works, a lot of it, but some of it doesn't. Jar Jar Binks doesn't work, but I don't mind him.
Well, see, I never minded him. At least for as idiotic and annoying as he can be at times, he still gets things done. He still actually has purpose in the plot.
And plus, like, my all-time favorite character in, like, the prequels is obviously have to be my boy Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Because he could be a Sith Lord when his master couldn't even.
Oh, okay. Let's
Not to
just...
mention he's the freaking candle in the live action
Yeah,
CD and
because
the
he's motherfucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he beat, and guess what? In Death Battle, which I find to be overrated, he beat Kakashi Hatake.
Of course, he has the high ground after all.
He's my second favorite Star Wars character, behind Anakin. Anakin is my favorite Star Wars.
He sliced Kakashi in half in Death Battle.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fine then.
But look, I'm just
Let's
saying.
be honest, there's sometimes
Obi-Wan
Death Battle can be practically sometimes wrong, or at least
they are debatable though. But
Archie Sonic versus Wally. That's the most debatable thing.
But I do
I've
find
ever
it like a style over substance series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that that rematch between Mario and Sonic and Mario 1, all because of Nintendo bias.
Oh god.
When they said they're not going to use anything except for the games, yet they proceed to show Mario throwing a dinosaur that's only in the cartoons.
Which is not part of the games. Which is not part of the games anyway.
They did a Mario and Sonic again, just for Mario to win.
So biased.
To be honest here, Mario still wouldn't be able to beat Sonic, actually.
No, he wouldn't.
Sonic has a lot of hacks.
Oh yeah, another reason why Mario won the rematch because of map pass bullshit. One is map pass bullshit. Very first bullshit game theory about Sonic. Remember that video?
Who's a villain?
Oh, Sonic speed or something.
Mario is faster than Sonic. Express processing, more like ass processing.
Okay. I like to bring this up for at least was it two? No, wait, I think it was one. Where the reason why Eggman was Robotnik, was moving so fast is because Sonic was a bit exhausted after that fight.
No.
Okay, it doesn't matter if Sonic gets exhausted. He's the fastest thing alive. Okay,
Yeah.
if Eggman can outrun him, then he's the fastest thing alive. Apparently, okay.
I'm pretty sure Eggman either did these two things: use those speed up monitors, which made him run very fast, or Sonic is, I guess, letting him run. But
it just doesn't make sense. Apparently,
he did punch a giant ice block in Lost World. It still strangle a Zeddy, even though that doesn't come forth. And then suddenly they're freaking working and freaking team racing. I don't get that.
I wanted Eggman to strangle like one of the Zeddies.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's
been freaking Zaz.
All right, let's get back to the video now. All right,
a new character arc to explore, and that is what you should want. If he was just like Yoda.
Well, definitely not this kind of character I would want.
Yes, I mean, in the EU Star Wars, the comics, they did expand more on Luke's story, which was more interesting. But,
RJ. Okay. Also, I know what some of y'all are about to say. I'm continuing what Google said. Now I know what some of you are going to say. But Glenn, so if Rey starts being a Mary Sue, then Sonic the Hedgehog is a Gary Stu. No, he was born with that. He's born with that ability.
But you idiots! It's a fictional fucking hedgehog.
I don't care. It has to be. I want good writing that's consistent.
But why? You're liking it. Says the people who shill for Cosmonaut.
And honestly, it's rather ironic the fact that in your dreams you can't actually meet knights.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. No, I like that one, but I'm still waiting for that damn Alex Kidd remake.
I'm waiting on
Because
Battle
we
in
got
Wonderworld.
Streets of Rage 4 this year.
Honestly, if I met knights in my dreams, I would let you know, okay?
Yay!
Yeah, because I normally don't have dreams that are very pleasant.
Well,
neither
then you
did
probably
mine
would be Riala.
because I had a dream of Cosmonaut reviewing the Archie Sonic series and the IDW series, and he was
He
chilling,
prefers IDW.
and he was like praising Flynn and trash talking Penders and Bowlers.
Yes, that's what dreams will do to you.
And he said Sonic should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple.
It's only the game purists, I feel. They say that. So why does Sega have to keep putting on all these sloppy shoehorned gimmicks? Sonic should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple.
Maybe to try to keep the games fresh every once in a while, because releasing the same thing gets stale. I mean, talk to EA
look at
about that,
I
but they
mean,
still
look at
make
Mega
money out of
Man.
it.
And people complain the same when people say like that the new Super Mario Brothers games are bad because they're all the same and they get stale. Well then, you people want variety in Mario, but you don't want it for Sonic. Like,
what's wrong with that?
This is why I hate these Nintendos for some reason. They always look at Aaron Hansen. Like I think he said that Sonic shouldn't I think like Sonic should be like Mario, and not to mention also responsible for the Sonic Adventure DX director's cut being inferior to the original Sonic Adventure in live stream, which EPG covered. It's all because they always want us to pull a reset era when it comes to comes Star Wars and when it comes to Sonic. They want the same thing, just relive their own nostalgia. Look, I love nostalgia, but I can't rely on it for long. I mean, I can't go back. I can't relive what it was like in 2000s, but everything's changed. Everything's advanced.
And IDW Sonic, it's just like nostalgia downgraded.
And it's been loved by artists on social media, mainly Tumblr and Twitter.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this. Like, I have quit Sonic for a long time, and then Sonic Generations brought me in because of nostalgia, and now I am very angry because that's the only thing that's keeping me going with the series with Sonic Mania, which is nostalgia practically.
So I'm going to say this right now. I know a lot of people are going to get upset with me. I think I said it before. I'm not sure, but I hate Sonic Mania. I hate Sonic Mania. I don't care what people say.
I respect your
I
opinion.
hate Sonic Mania because
you can say that. I respect it.
The Sonic level design is bullshit. I do not like the story, and also it got boring very quickly. The only thing I like is the music, and also I cannot stand the reuse of the previous levels. Why can't you just expand? Why can't you just make new levels? I mean, I'm sitting there to be Namco biased here, but I'd rather play Pac-Mania over this.
So far, there's like only 4 unique levels in the game. So
we're talking about Sonic Mania. I was off.
Granted, yes, it has the 3 rendition of other iconic stage in the original Pac-Man game, but at least it has new levels. New levels in Pac-Man. Sonic Mania barely has any. And also,
you want to know like a good game that kind of? Oh, sorry.
Not to mention, I'm going to piss off people. Sonic Mania is like the equivalent to Mad Max Fury at this point. And also the sequel trilogy too.
Well, I wouldn't place it there. All right, at least it doesn't disrespect the franchise.
But
and at least you were saying Gold.
Okay, so there's a game that I love playing, and it's a lot different from the original. It's the Game Boy version of Donkey Kong, and a lot of people thought it was just a poor arcade port. But no, after the first
basically that climbing game.
I think Cole has it.
Yeah, after the first couple of levels of the original Donkey Kong, you get 97 more, and they're more puzzle oriented.
Yeah, people just call it Donkey Kong 94, and it's one of my favorites too.
Dun, 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 dun.
Also, Mario is very fucking acrobatic.
All right, let's
Press
get
on.
back to
Let's
Cosmonaut.
go.
And he sat on the island, trained Rey, and then wasn't in the movie anymore, this movie would be dog shit. If I
What? This
You're acting
movie
like it
is
isn't.
already
That's
dog
fun.
shit to me.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
And it's just
Face.
Mark Hamill's face. Like, says it
Who's about
Yes. A mess of blue milkiness.
all. Oh wait! Oh damn it!
Blue milkiness.
Fucking
Ah.
it's like bluish green. Ugh. Jesus Christ! Like, yeah, this man just deserves better because, and he was a person who, yeah, he said that the prequels got too much hate, and he hated how people, like, yeah, said all that bad stuff towards Jake Lloyd and yeah, and Ahmed Best. Like, yeah, just because they played a character you didn't like doesn't mean they should be subject to bullying. Okay, that goes for the actor for Rose Tico as well.
Yeah.
I had to choose between seeing old man Luke doing ninja flips and fighting people with a lightsaber, or a brand new story arc
He's
where we
doing
get to
a ninja
explore
flip.
new depths of
Oh my god! Oh yeah, and you say people love practical effects. Who love practical effects over CGI? Look at this planet.
Also, oh no, the prequel, the choreography in the prequel is garbage. Is lifeless. There's no emotion. The original trilogy has more emotions, but look at here. This is below the original trilogy in terms of choreography.
This is
In fact,
just
way below, beyond
Yeah.
low.
This is
It's
the
like-
worst
I
lightsaber
vivid-
duel, I have to say.
I
Look at
vividly
that
remember,
shot. Look
like,
at that
Samuel Jackson's
screenshot.
I
Jango
know,
Fett
like,
more than
people
this fight.
bitched about the CGI in the prequel trilogy and want more practical effects, and Disney was, like, catering to them. And just, like, this is just contradictory right here again.
Anyways, like I was saying, like, ask me to describe one of the fights in the new trilogy. I cannot remember any of them. And then ask me a fight in the prequels, and I will remember a lot of them.
Yes, because they're actually memorable and well choreographed fights.
Yes, I still remember Samuel L. Jackson's character cutting off Jango Fett's head.
And his hand, too.
Yeah, that was
I still
I'd
remember.
say one of the moments that did shock me when I saw it for the first time.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. World's greatest bounty hunter. Galaxy's greatest bounty hunter. Right there. General Grievous. Oh, I love that fight.
Yes, to fight General Grievous was still one of my favorite villains, just because of his design and personality. The fact that
I
he's
love his design.
the fact that
and
he's
Obi-Wan versus Jango Fett, love that fight too.
Yeah, the prequels have a lot of great memorable fights that aren't just lightsaber fights, but really we see a lot of
Obi-Wan versus
interesting
Darth Maul was
creatures and
memorable.
stuff. Yeah. We see a lot of memorable fights between either bounty hunters, Sith, and Cyborg.
Of course.
And Fallen Jedi. Yeah.
Also, how can we not forget about Anakin versus Obi-Wan, where he said the iconic words,
I have the high ground.
We know. Really, every fight that's in the sequel trilogy is either just anticlimactic, horribly choreographed, or just emotionally empty.
Yeah. This I forget this actor's name, but it looks like he's crapping his pants.
His name is
Adam Driver.
His name is Adam Driver. He's playing Kylo Ren, and he's another actor that just deserves better. Really.
Yeah, and he end up being shirtless in the film.
Oh yeah, him being shirtless is the weirdest shit ever. What the fuck
And
is
there's
that body
MCU
build,
esque dialogue too.
Yes, really. It just doesn't fit the tone. Okay, let's get going.
Character and see him demonstrate his full mastery of the Force, proving what it means to be a true hero. Well, I think I would pick that. Thank you very much. Again,
also Kylo's cape disappears during the duel. What?
You know what? There's so many. And also freaking. What's his name? actor plays Snoke.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. Oh man, this sequel trilogy had a lot of great actors, and they did almost nothing good with them.
And in the gap, Andy Serkis characters' roles got shat on. Like a couple months later, it was Black Panther too.
Yeah, like basically, yeah. Andy Serkis, Adam Driver, and Gwendolyn something who played Phasma. She was in Game of Thrones too, and yeah, like again, they have so many great actors that could make for great villains, and yeah, they just do nothing with them that makes them intimidating. They kill two of them off early on, and then just leave us with the shitty ones.
And guess what? And Hux was made into a laughing stock
by Ryan Johnson.
Yeah. Ugh,
with the Yo Mama joke.
Basically there for representation. Not to mention Andy Serkis' character in Black Panther is because blacks hate white. So.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Pretty much bring up that. This reminds me of this one Robot Chicken episode.
Like Claw was funny.
Short. You know that one Robot Chicken short with the whole Star Wars thing? You want to know how I got into this situation? There was even a freaking salad bar open.
But yeah, I actually found in Black Panther Claw's character that Andy Serkis played was actually kind of making me laugh. He was funny, and they killed him off.
Yeah.
Who the fuck designed this man?
What is that I'm looking at?
That's Andy Serkis character.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Snoke's design is creepy. I'll give him that, but he's just discount Palpatine. Except they killed him off and then brought in Palpatine, which is just shitting on everything.
That was more of an asshole, as Darth Vader's sacrifice, is now fucking worthless.
Yes, the people just didn't know what the fuck they just don't know anything about Star Wars. Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, come on, let's go.
Talked about this movie so much, and I am so tired. I don't want to talk about.
And you're making us tired.
Yes. We've still got so much to go.
I want to be free of this curse. This movie is both good and bad, and I think that's fine. Because it did not ruin my childhood, and if we're being honest, it didn't ruin yours either.
It did ruin mine.
It ruined
Did you grew up with them, basically, in theater.
This movie pissed me off so much that
Where is your fucking self-awareness, Marcus? It is just...
So you said George Lucas raped your childhood, but he had a vision, unlike Ryan Johnson, who just did fuck all to this film.
Yeah, George Lucas, the guy who literally created this entire fucking thing, had his own vision.
And yeah, we all raged because it wasn't what we wanted. We only thought about ourselves when this was all happening. And because we kept chastising him, we now get this abomination and stuff. And frankly, we all got what we deserve for being assholes.
It's way better than Rise of Skywalker, and I don't really care if you disagree with that. So I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7 seems good. These last few movies are really hard to review. Anyway, let's talk about a good Star Wars movie now.
That is debatable.
There we go.
He always just loves to present his own arguments as objective and never goes by any sort of subjectivity at all.
Solo, an unbridled rage.
That was Mahler's thing. He said,
Yes.
I'm convinced that I am the #1 fan of this movie in the whole world.
You're the only one who saw it when it came out.
You're the only one who bought a ticket to it.
You know what? I bought tickets to it. I thought it was good, but it's just my least favorite of the films that I liked.
It's your least favorite. It's the most meh film that they've made. it's not at least it's not offensive like the sequel trilogy, but it just doesn't really do
It's
anything.
Necessary to be made.
And you expect it to be good because the guy who directed Willow directed this movie, but sadly, Kathleen Kennedy had to step on him.
Yeah, literally, I seriously just cannot believe how Kathleen Kennedy can still hold a leadership position after.
The place. Grief.
Please.
Also, apparently something is named after your cat, Gold.
And
How's your
really,
cat doing anyway?
yeah, the fact that this movie lost money after The Last Jedi really should have said something to them. It should have given them a fucking wake-up call that fans are pissed now.
Why do you think the Sonic movie actually did better?
That's another story for another time.
Okay, this is like the equivalent of, why are your sequels not dead? I have no idea.
And they're coming out with another trilogy in the next 3 years.
I'm not looking forward to anything that they're putting out, honestly.
No.
The Mandalorian season 2 is coming. That's only thing, honestly.
Really,
okay?
I just like Disney should stick with just filling the gaps, like this one, whatever, Rogue One, Mandalorian,
and not retconning shit, and actually doing a fucking good job. I just want Star Wars to be good again.
Also, speaking of good, okay, I tried finding I was trying to find a new basic lightsaber / extendable lightsaber for my short film I'm making, but the problem is it's scarce on the internet. It's you can thank Disney for trying so hard trying to get this kid's attention that these kids lost interest in Star Wars altogether. Millions of Rose Ticos, millions of Snokes. Basically, every person who had jobs in stores basically threw out the excess inventory because they weren't selling, all because of the Disney Star Wars. So yeah, good luck finding the basic lightsaber new.
I mean, I have a like basic, red Sith lightsaber. That's it.
I did have one before too.
And that was from
Me too.
It was like back in 2005 when Revenge of the Sith came out. I had it.
I used to have a red Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber. I used to have a red Darth Vader's lightsaber. I used to have.
Seems like everyone's got a red lightsaber.
And I also had a blue
lightsaber.
I also had Luke Skywalker's green lightsaber.
I also have Anakin Skywalker's second lightsaber, but those are kept. But those are being passed down to my younger siblings. The only two lightsabers I have are Kylo Ren's electronic lightsaber and Darth Maul's basic double blade lightsaber. They don't sell that lightsaber anymore. That lightsaber was given to me as a present back in 2012 as a birthday present.
That was before the dark times, before the Empire.
Right before
hold on. Now I'm just remembering like this build your own like custom lightsaber thing at stores. Like you get yourself like a 3-sided lightsaber and like a rotating one. Yeah, that shit was dope.
Have you heard Successor Blade Builders?
I still remember Boogie's video of doing that. That's literally the only good thing to come out of Disney Star Wars is that video. The Blade Builders, because of how stupid it is.
The Blade Builders lightsabers.
Oh man, you know what? And even at the end of that video, he said, "If they screw up that movie, I got no reason to live." Well, you're still alive, but they screwed up everything. All right.
Most noble basic extendable lightsaber I can find is Luke Skywalker's second lightsaber. So. Thank you, Disney, for making everything scarce. I just want Obi-Wan's lightsaber, first or second. I just want Anakin's second lightsaber.
I
Thanks.
didn't know you make it like a short movie.
I can't get them online or in stores. Well, I can't get them in stores because of COVID. So, unplugging machine and walk.
Alright.
Sometimes I legitimately feel like a crazy person when I talk about this movie with people because I don't know a lot of people who like this movie. They just aren't as enlightened as
there's everyone.
Well, you're being debatable right here, but you are crazy.
Yeah, you are crazy whenever you talk shit about prequels and shit.
Yeah, and Last Jedi, and The Force Awakens, and Rogue One. Yeah. We're talking real shit here. Let me tell you now, even though I haven't seen this, but I did see Mars Unbridled Rage on it. Let me tell you, looking at it, Solo is a boring ass movie. So for those of you who haven't seen Solo and about to watch it the first time, don't expect anything dramatic. Just expect a lot of just mundane blockbuster action schlock. Because it is.
Yeah, and
Star Wars should be simple. Remember?
Star Wars should be simple.
Oh God.
Also,
and you know what?
Also, they did it again. They spoiled Raiders of the Lost Ark after the beginning of the film. Again, when Han Solo meets that water worm scene, they spoiled her again. Again. Why? Stop. Can you stop? Can you stop turning that spoiler from Raiders of the Lost Ark into the meme? You're creeping me out.
I know. I'm still like hard pressed as to why that became a meme in the first place. Like when I first saw that, I had seen the Temple of Doom, but I was still pretty horrified by it.
Well, yeah, with the guy getting his heart removed.
Well, no, just the melting scene. That's all.
The melting scene.
Just don't post a GIF here. Just don't post a GIF. I'm just tired of it. I mean, the greatest moment is the beginning for Raiders of the Lost Ark, but now this, geez, enough of that shit.
Yeah, because it's Harrison Ford, because the same actor, and also another George Lucas IP.
It's enough of that.
Disney is probably going to ruin Indiana Jones too.
In the next 2 years.
And then Rise of Skywalker happened, and they did it again. Press on.
Yeah.
It's me, and that's fine. I shouldn't look down on them as much as I do. But joking aside, I think this is one of the most pure Star Wars movies ever made.
Star Wars should be simple.
Yes,
remember?
For you it is.
Check.
Star Wars should be simple.
Ding.
How?
That's the best word I can use to describe it. Pure. If you could distill what I want out of Star Wars into one movie, this would be it. A fun action-adventure movie starring charismatic characters with a good emotional center. This movie is...
I would say fun, but debatable with the other stuff.
Look, if you want a good Ron Howard movie, well, I won't call it a Ron Howard movie anyway, but if you want a good Ron Howard movie, just watch Splash, or heck, just watch Willow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because this was ruined by Kathleen Kennedy in Ron Howard's direction. Because this is mostly Kathleen Kennedy's film.
Yeah. Oh, that fucker. That fucking bitch.
Respect woman.
Carol fucking Baskin.
Carol fucking Baskin. Whacked her husband, killed him, and fed him to the tigers. That bitch.
I can't believe she's on Dancing with the Stars.
Carol Baskin, man, fucking bitch is dancing with the motherfucking stars.
Isn't bogged down by Jedi Sith bullshit. There are no politics, no allegiances. It's just
of course, politics boring.
Yes, because it's not like fictional politics actually add to the world or anything. It's not like they actually add to the plot. No, politics boring because I have a 5-second attention span.
Give me emotion. Give me emotion. Give me emotion. Give me emotion. I'm tired of it. I'm experiencing a James Dean effect here.
What?
I'm experiencing a James Dean effect, to be completely ironically ironic here. You know,
what does that even mean?
Rebel Without Cause. He says this. He says back again. Remember that line? Well, yeah, I don't know if you guys seen the movie Rebel Without Taxi.
I haven't seen any of the James Dean's 3 films he done, though, but rest in peace to that guy, too.
Also, the main inspiration for Anakin Skywalker and how he behaved. So.
Oh man.
Fucking adventure. I went into this movie fully expecting to hate it, and I was pleasantly surprised. It is just so fun to watch. It's got some dumb shit in it, but none of that dumb shit makes the movie bad. Except for one thing. Darth Maul should not be in this movie. I used to kinda like—
Yes.
Okay, that could have been a deleted scene.
Yeah, honestly, them putting Darth Maul in a spin-off movie that a lot of people are going to watch is pretty much the dumbest thing you could do. Because A, there are a lot of people that haven't seen the Clone Wars. B, because it doesn't add anything to the movie. It's a pointless cameo. And C, it just makes me want a Darth Maul movie. I'm sorry.
Also, D, doesn't Darth Maul already die in the Clone Wars?
No,
he dies in Rebels.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah.
But couldn't you just left off? Just get left off from the film. It serves no purpose. He served no purpose other than a sequel bait, which they ain't getting. Despite what Twitter might have you believe is saying, make Solo 2 happen. No, it bombed. When it's a bomb.
Yeah. Hashtag Solo lost money. Hashtag Kathleen Kennedy.
I think it should have just. I think you're gonna have to wait for a Kenobi series or some other spin-off series on Disney Plus.
Oh dear! Please don't ruin Kenobi, Kathleen. Get your slimy ass SJW paws away from Kenobi and anything that is Star Wars now. You don't deserve to run.
My gosh! I just want Jon Favreau or George Lucas back.
If they move up and make a Kenobi spin-off movie or show, I just not interested because I just want to close my Disney window after The Lion King 2019 remake or something, because that remake was fucking garbage.
Yeah. Well,
it was shiftless too, and I felt bored out of my skull because
the only thing that grabbed my attention at the end is the song from the end credits. That was from the original Broadway cast by Elton John.
Yeah, I felt like they could have made the movie a remake, but more of a reboot, but more Broadway like.
Well, who knows? It just is just kind of pointless anyway.
The only Disney remake I liked last year was probably Aladdin.
Yeah, I did too.
I don't know, I kind of prefer Dumbo a bit more because I don't know, it was something.
I did not see that movie.
I
didn't see it either. Didn't find a need to.
I ever watched the Jungle Book 2016 because at least it's not offensive to look at. Just
Yeah.
I liked that one, even though it was.
Yeah.
There's no musical moments, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
there was also a live action Jungle Book movie before, like years before.
And let's not forget discount Dr. Robotnik's review of the Jungle Book 2016, calling it a dark, gritty, Dark Knight version of the Jungle Book.
Dark Knight, even though it's directed by the same guy who directed Iron Man.
Doug, we might have to do that one in the future as well.
We're going to do every live-action Disney remake film. Except for the Jungle Book and Mulan.
Like this, but as time has passed, my mind has changed. It's just so weird and incongruent with the rest of the movie. It is foreshadowed very lightly, but it just feels so Marvel-y. Like Disney thought we really needed a Thanos reveal in this movie. Like, yeah, I know Maul is in Clone Wars. I like Darth Maul in Clone Wars, but I don't need to see these two series intersect like this. And for the average viewer who only watches the movies and doesn't know about the fucking dumb cartoon show, this feels like the weirdest, most out-of-place reveal ever. But aside from that, I like almost everything in this movie. And yeah, you gotta turn the brightness up a little bit.
Okay.
It ain't the nice.
Okay. Stop. Wait a minute. What you just said, you like him in the Clone Wars, but you never like him in the Phantom Menace. And you called... I don't know. I forgot. Was he referred to? I was gonna say this. I think you referred to the Clone Wars as a dumb kid show. I think he's referring to Rebels.
Yeah.
No, I think he was saying it He was saying it sarcastically because he really likes the Clone Wars, and
it should replace the prequels.
But when applied to Clone Wars as a dumb kid show, then oh my, so contradictive. You're so contradictive. I want to squish you like a little bug right now.
I could squash you like a bug right now.
No reference intended.
Well, he was just being sarcastic when making the comment because because he's saying like that's how people would say the Clone Wars is a dumb kid show when it isn't. He thinks Rebels is more of that category. But it's something that a lot of people don't watch, which is why it's weird. Sorry.
Oh, looking at this shot here, it makes me think that's what Cosmonaut is doing. Walks into a bar and we're just literally the people just doing normal things.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
This looking movie. And yeah, the fan service is still here, and Donald Glover's performance is a little odd, but okay, listen, the movie's good, okay? I know it doesn't sound like it, but it is, believe
It's like, oh my god. It's like he literally just actually had a functioning brain moment.
Is it good? Is it not good?
Oh shit, I realize my points are stupid and I make no sense. Oh wait, no, never mind. I gotta keep sucking off Disney.
Jeez.
No, I gotta keep sucking off Disney, otherwise I'm gonna make myself look even more of a fool than I really am.
Come here, Mickey.
To me, this movie is...
No, I am out of here!
like the Iron Man 3 of the Star Wars universe.
No, at least I would watch this over Iron Man 3 by a long shot.
Oh, that movie is also in the same category of character assassination, all right? If we're gonna talk that,
I would rather watch this over Iron Man 3 because it didn't make me as frustrated as Iron Man 3 would.
Yeah, I would rather watch Iron Man 2 over Solo, The Predator, and especially Iron Man 3.
Wait, there was an Iron Man 3?
Yes.
Don't watch it. It's not worth watching.
You can watch it, but you're not gonna like it.
Oh, and guess what?
It predates last gen in terms of subversion. Subverting audiences' intelligence.
No, hold on. I'm
it's
pretty
just
sure, like,
insulting their intelligence.
My brain is like subconsciously hidden it from my mind.
I mean, you could go ahead and watch Iron Man 3, but I'm gonna say you probably won't enjoy it over the time.
Unless you don't.
First appearance in number 3.
And also, guess what? Cosmonaut liked Iron Man 3 too.
I remember.
Yeah, he said that it was an underrated film that actually had interesting moments and stuff. I'm like, dude, you're wrong. I'm sorry, you are.
I'm too uneducated. Let's go.
A movie that is secretly really good that people hate because it isn't connected to a larger story. I love Alden Ehrenreich's performance as Han because he isn't just doing an impression of Han Solo. He doesn't even really look like him. But from the first fucking line, you can just...
kind of a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of the problem. Except for the hairstyle, that's it.
Yeah, off-putting.
Yeah, it's not the way that, like... This is the way that Disney is trying to portray young Han Solo, not the way that, like, say, George would do so.
Like, Han Solo was going to be in Revenge of the Sith, but was cut.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, again, George had his version, and Disney, just said, no, let's make our version.
Like, Ron Howard was gonna set for George Lucas's words on Han Solo, but Kathleen Kennedy had to step in and said, what are you doing? I'm doing this because I had good relations with George. I did
Can we take it
Willow.
out of
I was in
context?
American Graffiti. No, change the script, Ron.
Ugh, I hate her so much. Ugh. It's like he's spitting on my
I
screen.
feel like Ron was trying his best here, trying to make a good film, spin-off film. He was, but
Well,
it was Kathleen Kennedy who shat on it.
yeah, he just for everyone that is actually trying to do something with these movies, there's just always a bit of asinine that has to lead
It's
into
just because
disaster.
it is devastating because Ron Howard had a good relationship with George Lucas.
Yes, Ron Howard directed Willow, and George Lucas produced it.
And he was also
they were
in
pretty
American
good.
Graffiti, his earlier films.
Yeah, they were good together.
What has happened?
It took too long. I knew something must have gone wrong.
This is nothing. You should see them. Oh yeah, that's Han Solo. His mannerisms
Oh, yeah.
perfectly
No, it's
reflect
not.
a younger and more naive Han. It would have been perfectly fine for him to act like the Han that we've already seen, but I love that he makes him feel younger with the performance. I like Woody Harrelson in this movie too, and
Okay, I would agree. Woody Harrelson is. I do like Woody Harrelson in this
Woody
film.
Harrelson's a treat. This movie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
it's just that I just
say-
find him. I just find him kind of overrated though, just because I always see him as the same kind of character each time he's playing it.
Like the
something.
Hunger Games films.
Well, not just that. Like,
I didn't
there's
like him in
what the
Hunger.
Now You See Me films. There's Zombieland. Yeah,
I didn't like.
I say his best. I say his best work was in like around Zombieland. I know.
Yeah,
I
Zombieland.
just like
he was
seeing
awesome.
those B movies.
Remember, it's always double
Zombieland
tap,
is the
people.
ultimate movie.
And he's Carnage too, in the upcoming Venom film.
Oh yeah, I
Who's
want
gonna be
to see
Carnage?
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Woody
Gold, Gold, Gold.
Harrelson.
Oh, Gold, do like your Venom impression.
First, gonna bite off your arms, your legs, your feet. We are armless, legless, faceless, rolling down the street like a bird.
There.
okay, that was fine.
I don't know. I'm very tired, so I can't do my.
Okay, it's okay. You
It's-
did. You
it's
did.
alright.
Yeah, we're all feeling the same way.
his role in this story is
exactly
actually
tired.
pretty fresh and unique. I actually like all of the side characters and how they're handled because you don't know if they're going to survive or not.
That's very debatable.
Most of them
again.
don't. The thing is, I usually hate prequel movies because you already know what's going to happen most of the time.
Of course, because George Lucas skipped to episode 4 because the technology was not up to date yet.
Yeah,
Understandable.
The tension is just non-existent. I know Han Solo's not gonna fucking die, but this movie never feels like it loses tension. If you asked me 3 years ago if I would be okay with seeing the Kessel Run in a movie, I'd say fuck no, I don't give a shit. But in this movie, it's one of the most exciting scenes. I actually really like it. If only every Star Wars callback could be like this. There are just some really fun action set pieces in this movie. The train heist is a super fun scene that we get to start the whole plot. The jailbreak scene is a cool segue to the Kessel Run, which is just Star Warsy as hell, and then we get this cool double.
yeah, totally.
Because
Just keep dictating what Star Wars should and shouldn't be. Yeah,
Yes.
more of the
Well,
same.
you know, oh, don't worry. We got a lightsaber, a few blasters in there, and there you go, Star Wars.
Cross James Bond encounter with the final boss. This movie is just basically an Uncharted game in space. I just want my Star Wars.
Uncharted game in space.
I haven't played Uncharted, but I can say
it's
that's
still weird.
no.
No, that does not feel like Uncharted at all. I'm sorry,
No.
Cosmonaut.
Yeah, I've never played Uncharted, but I can say that's stupid.
No.
That's a
They're
stupid
great.
comparison.
I love them.
Movies to be fun action adventure movies. That's all I want, man.
Fun action adventure movies, and yet you say in the beginning of the video you said they're the main characters of a stupid action adventure series.
Yeah, and yet he goes and praises The Last Jedi for challenging the audience, but then he goes and hates the prequels.
Yeah.
Just because.
And it's so hard to get it sometimes. I also love the writing in this movie. The script is pretty good for the most part, and it helps the actors put on convincing performances.
Yeah, because Kathleen Kennedy told the people and Ron Howard to rewrite it many times. To see with her own vision.
And Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Christopher.
Some of the line delivery in this movie is pretty good.
A little something I picked up from my pal Needles. Best street racer in all Corellia. Till he crashed. And died doing this.
The actors in this movie...
What? Okay, that was just odd acting right there.
Yeah, this man, again, every time he tries to provide an example, he just does a shitty job. Like, every time
And look at Woody Harrelson's face!
Hey! Hold on. So, what was the line again? What was that line again?
Hold on.
Something I picked up.
Writing in this movie. The script is pretty good for the most part, and it helps the actors put on convincing performances. Some of the line delivery in this movie is pretty good.
A little something I picked up from my pal Needles. Best street racer in all Corellia. Till he crashed. And died doing this.
The actors in this movie...
That's kind of just... That's just kind of like... Okay, like... That, I don't really think that's very...
Woody Harrelson's reaction to what Han Solo said.
Again, this man just always provides shitty examples for his own shitty arguments. Okay,
In the joke,
for his shittier
until he
arguments.
crashed part. The rest of it is
Till he crashed and died doing this. Yeah, like what's with the random pauses? That's
Marvel dialogue.
Here's how.
Great. Now, Marvel dialogue is better than that, alright? That's just shitty Kathleen Kennedy dialogue.
And especially that Yo Mama joke.
About his mother.
Also, Gold was saying.
Here's how the joke should have went. Learn this from my buddy Needles. He's the best pilot in whatever planet. Until he died.
Of a fatal heart attack.
Okay, now that's funny.
Keep it open-ended. Just keep it open-ended and like everybody just turns to look at him.
Well, it still doesn't feel Star Warsy though.
No.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to fix one line. I don't want to attempt Star Wars because that's only one man's vision.
Well, yes, at least you admit that.
Yeah,
like even
that one vision.
It's like all these people say that they can dictate better than the own creator themselves. Like,
not really.
Like even I am a person who understands this franchise, but I would never say that I could come up with anything myself. All right, that is better than George.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, like, I understand like the Ninja Turtles franchise, and I'm very good with the lore, but I would never top the original creators because they fucking created them.
To be honest, I'm never into the Spider-Man comics. I love the Sam Raimi movies. I'm not going to dictate what Stan Lee and Steve
Insert the Peter dancing sequence from Spider-Man 3.
Dictate what Stanley should not do with his own creation.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Alright.
Yeah.
Movie have that electric charisma. The action is good as hell, and this movie has one of the best and most underrated Star Wars soundtracks of all time.
No, no.
Again with the editing.
I don't understand why people are so hard on this movie when it is just so fun.
Oh, and look at this suggested. Solo is fun. You guys are just mean. Can we stop? Can you stop with the objective statements, please?
Yeah, trying to make every statement feel objective when you're the one who's being an asshole for saying that we're brainwashed for liking the prequels in the first.
Exactly.
And also, saying that this is one of the best soundtracks. Well, Okay, I know that's subjective. That's entirely subjective to you, Cosmonaut. Okay, we all know that John Williams cannot be beat. All right,
Also,
John Williams
Harper
will
likes
never
the
be.
soundtrack, but too bad because the soundtrack is simple regurgitation. There's no new themes. The only new themes they're actually there are just piss poor copies of it. They're just taken from Hans Zimmer's empty-handed notes of unused that are unused in his scores. In fact, the score to this film was handled by John Powell, who did the amazing score to X-Men: The Last Stand, and also How to Train Your Dragon, and also an associate of Hans Zimmer Productions, formerly Media Ventures.
oh,
Shit.
interesting
Fun
to
and
know.
harmless. I would talk about it more, but again, I already kind of.
I'm glad
Yes.
Ron Howard got rid of that thing.
Oh, good God!
Insert "My Heart Will Go On" here.
Yes, I like
Here,
how he
there's
says
nothing that
it's
you
harmless and inoffensive as he shows the fucking SJW droid.
I would say
Why then?
don't play the audio.
Okay, yeah, no,
no.
Why is
Don't
that?
play the
Why is
yeah. That
why is
audio
that
cannot
considered
be
an
played because
SJW exactly?
Kathleen. This was a creation of Kathleen Kennedy's,
Yeah.
not Ron Howard's.
And why?
because she just loves to insert her own fucking propaganda and her own feminism into fucking everything.
Wait, is that a
What does this
fembot?
thing do exactly?
It's a fembot.
Because of rights.
Why do they add genders into fucking droids and shit?
Doesn't matter where's gender. Yes, granted.
Fucking machine.
No, it makes more sense with something like, I don't know, Futurama.
Doesn't matter what gender you are. You are a robot regardless.
Yeah, if it was written the other way around, if this was like, if it had a male voice, I would hate it. I would hate it too.
Okay, so I'll just real quick give you a Urban Dictionary definition of SJWs. They are proud and fearsome and liberal warriors hailing from the ancient ways of Tumblr and BuzzFeed, fighting for the promises of a forever equal and fair society. With their tongues as their swords and their bigotry as their armor, they hunt and readily assault those believing in the evil arts of masculinity and white pride.
Wait a minute, liberal? I thought you
And not to mention, they have their army of Karens.
And want to bound down to the far left, bend the knee. For example, Funimation. For example,
By their pawns, the Simps.
For example, how SJWs turned Funimation back in 2013 into the cesspool it is today, beginning with Prison School. Granted, there are anime that also have political undertones, such as I think High School DxD. I'm not sure. I never saw the anime, but I heard about it from websites. But nowhere, but wasn't until 2015 where Funimation goes downhill fast. And look what they're doing to Fire Force. Look what they're doing to My Hero Academia, and also look what they're doing to Uzaki-chan wants to hang out right now.
Oh.
Thankfully, Fullmetal Alchemist never met that fate, and neither did Overlord during its run.
Yeah, it's like I love the days back in the days where they did amazing stuff with Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Fullmetal Alchemist.
I'm not agreeing. Granted, I'm not like the type of guy who's like super huge in anime. I'm just casual when it comes to anime. I'm not.
Yeah, same here.
Same here. I do enjoy shonen stuff.
Holy movie, which I'm not gonna take shots at Vic Mignogna. I think I'm pronouncing his last name incorrectly, but
you did get it right.
Vic, I'm cool with him.
Like heck, I even own the movie Akira on Blu-ray.
That's a good movie, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Also, one of the accusers who accused Vic Mignogna for sexual misconduct, Monica Real. No, she recently voiced Hana Uzaki, and Uzaki-chan wants to hang out anime. Holy shit, irony. Special fact, but the court is still taking is still taking place.
Jeez, how long is that court gonna take?
Oh, wasn't there like that Funimation leak where like they got Goku just saying faggot over and over?
Watch that if you want more. So 8 out of 10, a good Star War. Now it's time for the bad.
A good Star War.
It's a 3 out for me. Well, I haven't seen the film, so
I haven't seen it.
I would not give it that score. Not even close.
No, like really,
5,
you
6,
really
7
gave it-
is like that territory for me.
For me,
no, it's only for him because Star Wars should be simple, and simple is just God tier for him apparently.
Star Wars should be simple. We had one.
And time for the
Alright.
bad one. With your rating at the end, how could you say it's bad then?
The Rise of Skywalker is not very good. This movie.
Finally. Okay, what
Finally,
interesting
a valid opinion.
Okay. Hopefully we don't have to pause so much in this one.
Yeah, and he
I
actually
hope.
uses his freaking brain for.
This is the variety hour, so don't expect so much.
It's so fucking strange. Also, I don't actually have the footage from this movie because it just came out, so you're gonna have to watch the stream footage of me playing Star Wars
this
games.
is before it came out.
Okay, I'm not gonna go. Oh, fucking Christ. Now, before I went to see this movie, I was pretty worried because...
Stop! He's playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA. Hey, he's playing CIS. Yeah, he shits on the prequels. Shits on the prequels. These are his childhood. These are his childhood movies. Ain't shit on them. Right, left me. And now look at him playing CIS, and especially and fake Republicans too.
Yes.
I mean, not Republicans. My bad. Tyrex. I'm sorry for splitting. I meant Republic. I didn't mean spoil the Republican part out. Republic. And
Okay.
To EA. This is coming from a guy. He wants to shit on the prequels for the clout because Red Letter Media. Yeah, here he's playing the clone. He's playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 AA on the Clone Wars side.
And also, well, that's because he said the Dave Filoni Clone Wars series should be a replacement for the prequels.
Yeah, and it has Clone Wars voices for some of the characters, which I do like, but yeah, it feels kind of hypocritical. I agree with you.
Especially when it comes to the fact that we got Chris Stuckman in the Star Wars Battlefront review. He has Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the shelf for the PS2 on the shelf. Keep in mind, Chris Stuckman was born in 1988. He grew up with the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. He loved them both. But because of the internet climate of the time, thanks to Red Letter Media's bullshit narrative, wants to be Chris Stuckman, the pioneer epitome of a show critic he is, wants to pair that narrative. Because hence these guys say, so it's possibly to critique this movie or whatever. Without giving a huge thank you shout out to Red Letter Media, because their review for the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Register is probably my favorite movie reviews of all time. They say everything has been said, plus a whole bunch of things no one else have ever thought of. You make me happy.
You make me happy. You make me happy.
Fuck off, Chris Doug. Fuck off, Cosmonaut. Fuck.
Okay, easy.
Thank you.
Press on.
Because the reviews were not good. But you know what? The truth is,
Audience, go.
I am the biggest Star Wars shill.
Okay, let's play it backwards.
Now, before I went to see this movie, I was pretty worried because the reviews were not good. But you know what? The truth is, I am the biggest Star Wars shill.
You're a fucking idiot.
Oh my god! How can you say that with a straight face?
I don't.
Look, don't know if you're watching the stream, but watching this I don't know if you're watching this after stream. But hear me out. This one. If you're a Star Wars shill, what's the point of you mildly bashing Rogue One, and what's the point of you bashing your childhood movies, the Star Wars prequels, actually your teenagehood movies, the Star Wars prequels? What's the point of that? Basically, you shit on the prequels because you want to regurgitate. You want to regurgitate some idiotic critic who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's pretty much all but nothing but pointless filler. It's the same thing. Like Rick Worley said, it's all the same. People who don't know shit about Star Wars ranting, all because of views. Just like how video essays always want to repeat the same thing, say nothing, just for the views and the algorithm, and it's been encouraged. This is why in the future I want to make. This is why it's trying to tempt me to want to make it. I mean, I'm not not that guy who's into like actual reviewing and also debates and all that stuff. But actually, I'm into debates, but my mind's all over the place. But trying to break my this shit coming from these idiots right here is point of breaking my barrier. I'll actually want to respond to him and also doing a review because granted it's fine if you have your opinion, but when it comes to objective terms. I don't know. I'm about to say you're wrong, but I'm going to get a lot of backlash for that. I really want to refrain saying you're objectively wrong and all that stuff because I don't want to be an asshole.
No.
I don't want to be like high top.
I just find it very odd that people like him can call themselves a big Star Wars fan, and yet almost every movie they review, they bash consistently and call people brainwashed for liking them. Like, I don't know. How can you paint yourself that way? That's like me saying I'm a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, but by the way, you have to be brainwashed if you like Pender's writing. Or no, wait, you have to be brainwashed if you like Sonic 06. Okay?
Okay, it's
yeah.
okay.
Yes.
It's literally the same thing, okay? It's also it's like someone like Egoraptor who said that Sonic hasn't been good after
Aaron
3.
Hansen.
Yeah.
It's like IGN people too.
And it's like
like how they basically ranted on Mystery Dungeon, despite the fact that game did pretty well.
Oh, he's like
also I'm sorry. Also, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, too much water. Sorry about that.
That's supposed to be the theme.
That was just hilarious in and of itself.
Funny how it made it into frickin' Sun and Moon, the little quote there.
Oh my god. That's still like a meme to this day. Too much water, 7.8.
It's been like that since 2002. But Grant, Gen 3 actually came out 2003. No, that's for international releases, North America and Europe. It actually began in 2002 with the Japanese release, came out in 2002. We got Ruby Sapphire in 2000. We Americans got Ruby and Sapphire in 2003. Jabs got in 2002. So technically, not objectively, but technically, not subjectively, but technically, it came out in 2002 first. It's Gen 3. And it has too much, quote unquote, too much to begin with. So, whoever wrote that review, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they didn't even bother playing the original Ruby Sapphire and Emerald, especially.
Yeah.
All these quote unquote critics think they know so much shit.
Exactly. We've had to put up with at least those, especially the ones who had to do it on the art.
Teddy Rupskin.
Ralph the Movie Maker.
Oh god.
Discount Robotnik.
And I hate everything. And your movie sucks.
Say, Cole, when would the next Cuphead stream be?
It was just when I'm able to. All right, let's.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just get back to this.
We'll
now.
watch anything and find a way to have fun. And when I watched this movie, I saw exactly why people don't like it. But I also kind of had fun. Don't get me wrong.
What are you fucking talking about? That
yourself.
You contradict yourself, man! What the frog?
It's every time this man speaks about this shit, it just drives me up a fucking wall. Like, how can you take your own point seriously if you can't even make a fucking valid point that you don't contradict? Ugh.
Wrong. This movie is dumb as fuck, and I sure as hell would prefer if it was better. But I think I'm just in this abusive relationship with Star Wars where I've been hurt so many times that I don't care anymore.
You're finally, and then you, and now you finally fucking said it. You finally fucking said it.
You know what hurts me more, though, is people like you actually claiming that they know Star Wars a lot, and yet they make shitty reviews like this that barely explain shit. Yeah, that totally hurts me a lot.
Also, taking shot. I'm going to take a shot at just some guy here. Just some guy. I'm going to say it's fine if you don't like the prequels, but if you're going to go by the Red Letter Media narrative, then especially the fact you said that George Lucas is done with the practical effects in the prequels in your TLJ rant video, then why are you Yeah, granted, yes, you're a liberal, you're a millennial, but why are you?
This makes me question this. It's rather simple here, but he pretty much had these to begin with. What was the point of ranting in the first place?
It's fine. It's the original trilogy, and now they're getting better because these OT fanatics won't stop bitching. We won't stop bitching. They won't stop bitching and squabbling about how the prequels are not like the original trilogy. I don't look. I just want the prequels is pretty much is a backstory of how Anakin came to be. It's pretty much. In honest, as a common sense audience perspective, they want something new, not some regurgitated progressive crap coming from Kathleen Kennedy's asshole with this stupid Disney Star Wars movie. Yes, granted, I'm going a little bit easy on Rogue One. It's not as bad, but Solo, no, Solo, no, not having it, not having it. Okay.
Ooh.
Hold on.
But they always try. People like these always try to paint us fans as unpleasable because we bitch a lot. Well, we bitch a lot. We rage a lot about Star Wars because we care about it, the good of the franchise. We care. We care. We want to see good Star Wars content. We want Star Wars to still be great story with great characters and great world building and great actual arcs and everything, and actual real and not just spectacle and everything, just great story with great characters and everything. Like, we rage because we care. We're passionate about this franchise. We want to see it succeed. We don't want it to be put in the hands of people who don't understand.
Corporate.
Yes.
See, this is why I stopped. This is why I gave up on Disney Stars altogether. Because it's shit like this, especially from the fact that this thing's been filled with SJW crap, and also Chris and I think Chris and Mayhem even put out on a now delete tweet that he even put in quotes like Star Wars is SJW propaganda, and he puts an image from Kingdom Hearts 3 with Wood, and I said, wherever you're talking about, I don't care. Oh, God.
Good grief.
You know, he's the editor he's one of the two editors for the mysterious Mr. Enter, which I have no bias against him, against Mr. Enter, so I'm pretty much neutral on this one. On
Yeah,
him.
me too.
Especially the fact that after he made that talking about my online harassment video, I was like, yeah.
So to start things off, let's talk about what I actually liked. I'm going to start off by saying that I actually really like the relationship between Rey, Finn, and Poe. This is the first movie where we get to see them all hanging out and going on adventures, and I love it. People say they hate the first chunk of this movie where they're on the scavenger hunt, but I kinda love this shit. Also, some people have complained about the fact that our heroes argue with each other too much, but I kinda like that. You can tell that they're stressed out, and it adds an interesting dynamic to the group. Realistically, why would Rey and Poe get along? They wouldn't. They're completely different people. I really like these characters in theory. I enjoy Poe and Finn and Rey, but the movie unfortunately...
Okay, you do realize this. There's also a plot hole in Force Awakens. Rey's next to Poe. And I think towards the end of the movie. But in The Last Jedi, for whatever the fuck reason was given, if the way they meet, the way Poe and Rey meet again is like they just met each other for the first time. Like,
Well, that's what happens when you don't plan things.
It's just like hot potato into different people.
He's just playing a game of let's throw darts at a board and
Also,
hope that
the
they
three
stay.
characters are there for the first time, even though this would have took two more films to develop it.
And I hardly know anything about their goals and motivations anyway. 2 movies in, so therefore...
With no story planning whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, these people. When people really met, wanting to be like the original trilogy. When it comes to sequel trilogy, we got 2 directors. What does the prequel trilogy have? 1. What does the original trilogy have? 3. Because George Lucas, at the amount of stress he's put into it in the original Star Wars film, feels like he couldn't handle everything as a producer and a director and a writer. He has to give the directing roles to Irvin Kershner. Granted, yes, the Rough Cut was what I heard was disastrous, and Lucas got extremely furious. Well, compared to his counter towards that quote unquote Star Wars fan, he wanted to ask him for money, and Lucas told him to piss off the fans. He wasn't exactly as aggressive in his emotions as he was back in 1980, before Empire Strikes, during the preview of the rough cut of Empire. If I was actually alive, and when I was working for Lucas, if I saw that rough cut of him, and when I heard him screaming, I'll be in tears, hearing Lucas screaming. Like, this is not. You just ruined it. You just ruined how I've written it. And as a result, the loan came in. Alan Ladd actually quit over the loan or whatever reason, and arguments across the board, me and Fox, and he founded the Ladd Company. And to be honest, I'm going to be a bit hyperbolic or pretty much a bit, you know what I mean? Without that loan, without Alan Ladd's departure, there will never be Blade Runner. But this is why he passed the directing duties over to Irvin Kershner. And that he also passed down to Marquand. 2 late directors, Irvin Kershner and Richard Marquand. So trying to handle directing duties for his film while Lucas handled the producing and writing roles. Granted, yes, Irvin Kershner did break a few rules on how George Lucas wants, and how movies were shot and how movies were cinema were filmed and all that stuff, how the camera pans and moves. But that was only done slightly. That was like Rick Worley said, to give credit here. It was only done slightly, and then Richard Marquand did follow most of not all of Lucas's instructions on how the camera should move pan in the Return of the Jedi. It's just and then when the prequels came out, especially the fact that George Lucas wanting to have his own colleagues and friends, including Spielberg and Howard, and to actually handle the directing duties, but they couldn't because they feel like because of sense he just created the original trilogy. Not to mention his own creation. He should do it himself. And then George Lucas broke his own boundaries that's been limiting him ever since he finished directing A New Hope. And he did with the right people involved, including Rich. What's his
I
producer's
gotta go
name?
get a drink.
What's that producer's name for the prequel? I forgot. It's looking at me now. What's
I don't.
his name? Oh, let me get my Revenge of the Key copy. Rick McCollum. Rick McCollum. With the right people, including Rick McCollum, he did it. George Lucas did it. He did it, and he finally paid off. And he completed his own 6-movie saga with the Revenge of the Sith. You guys see what I mean? Sorry for prolonging it, but I just wanted to
Okay.
out here. Just and they think that handling different directors in the sequel trilogy is a good idea. No, it will never work because there's no plan. So that ruins the purpose of 3 directors. Let's press. Well then. Well, that was a little on tangent I made. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sick and tired of these people. So cinematically literate.
Anyways, could you tell me about like the short film? Well, you had me interested in like a short film you were talking about. Could you mind telling me more about that?
Short film I'm working on, like it's pretty much a sequel to the great Big Buff Big Buff Attack, which involves my character now has to face off the owner of that monster who was originally going to attack my hometown, but now since I foiled his plans, now I have to confront him in a duel. It's not much because I'm still in the process of pre-production, so. And I want to get a single blade blade lightsaber, but because
Sorry, I had to
Star
get it.
Wars-
I'm back. I had to get a drink because I was dehydrated.
But because of Disney Star Wars tainting the overall reputation of Star Wars as a whole, the inventory has been wasted. It's been wasted. The toy inventory has been wasted, and now the extendable basic lightsabers are now rare to come by, especially on the internet, because nobody cares about Star Wars anymore. Disney ruined it. Fanboys ruined it. The OT fanboys, I mean.
Now I'm just thinking I should do something with like my character I created for it. It'll be a little bit fun.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know how to create Mandalorian.
I'm sorry. I'm going to
armor.
make a pause here. I'm sorry for that long tangent I made. I mean, granted, I'm not. Granted, yes.
Also, this pretty much reminds me a bit of Independence Day for some reason.
I'm not almighty one. I'm just casual. I'm just frustrated.
Okay, we all get those times.
Yeah.
Want
me to press on?
Yes.
Doesn't use them properly. I also really liked C-3PO in this movie, which is weird, but I like that he gets a big role in this one, and it actually kind of pays.
And this is such anticlimactic too. This is just incredibly pointless. Like, I thought C-3PO was gonna go into a complete malfunction.
He's off. He also has some of the best humorous scenes in the movie. As a whole, I'd say that this movie nailed the jokes for me. And that's another thing that a lot of people will disagree with me on. But you can tell that they toned the humor down a lot. The humor was most...
No. Just no.
They fly now. Shows that they didn't tone down the humor. I'm so
appropriately placed and actually pretty funny. And I love that the finale doesn't have a lot of jokes in it. I think the only one I can think of is when Kylo Ren jumps on that chain and he says, ow. And that was a little weird, but...
I'm so glad I watched Revenge of the Sith again with the commentary on. Let's press on.
That was like the only joke in the whole last third of the movie. The performances in this movie are also pretty good, the same as they've always been. But the problem...
No, they're not. They're not good.
No, I don't remember a lot of it in the movie theater.
I think Bob watching Rise of Skywalker, and I'm seeing clips online just from other YouTubers online. It's not even good. It's terrible.
The problem is that while the performances are fine, the script is really bad. Yes, the actors have their charisma intact, but the lines they say in this movie are awful. This script is honestly one of the worst I've ever heard in Star Wars. The first half of this movie is...
Okay, you're valid points, so we're just gonna press on.
It's just characters spewing exposition or saying some really corny shit. Every time you might see something good in this movie, something dumb will happen right after. And that's the problem with this movie. There is so much shit happening that you barely have time to breathe. When I watched this movie the first time, I legitimately forgot most of the stuff that happened. There's a pretty cool scene at the beginning of the movie.
Him failing at Jedi Fallen Order.
Wow! Fail!
Where Poe skips through hyperspace, and I forgot about it until I saw it the second time. The one word I would use to describe this movie is overwhelming, and that is not in a good way. But that kind of...
no, that's underwhelming at best. Really.
works in this movie's favor sometimes. Like, the movie can show you something really dumb, but right after that something new happens and you forget about it. But if you see it more than once and actually stop to think, shit stops making sense real quick. Right from the beginning, we have the new worst title crawl in all of Star Wars. Remember when I said that I don't like when the title crawl tells us all the important stuff that happened off screen? Yeah, well that's basically this entire title crawl. Palpatine comes back to life off screen. We never learn how he came back to life, and I think that it's kind of
because they kill off Snoke.
Yeah, and JJ
No,
and
Matt
Kathleen
tried
had to decide to bring him back and retcon Return of the Jedi,
Basically a
making complete
shoehorn.
Vader's sacrifice pointless as he was the chosen one.
But wait, there's more. Press on.
Important to show us because the last time we saw him, he exploded. Plus, Palpatine's plan and motivations make no fucking sense in this movie. He changes his mind like 7 times. First, he wants Kylo Ren to kill Rey, but then he wants Rey to come to his spooky castle and kill him so he can possess her body. And then he decides to just suck her soul like a fucking Dementor and regain his powers that way? Bro, why didn't you just do that from the fucking start? Rey even being his granddaughter is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, because you guys know that I really liked that she was a nobody. They wouldn't have...
I'm gonna repeat myself for the last time. It's because Disney had no direction, and this is what happens.
Everyone criticizes Rey's just sexist assholes. Brilliant.
I'm so tired. I just don't want to say anything anymore.
It's okay.
Have made her Palpatine's granddaughter if you guys didn't spend the last 2 years making YouTube videos complaining about this. So was it worth it? The worst twist in all of Star Wars?
How is it the fault of YouTubers who rightfully criticize The Last Jedi? Bro, get out of here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not a real argument. That's it's the Phantom Menace's fault. Excuse, argumental tactic and excuse. Dare to be Donzo's broken record here. Again, press on.
Written by Reddit, but you know what? I'm so much of a fucking Star Wars shill.
That's the equivalency of saying simple.
Oh my god.
Simple. Oh,
look at that stupid face. Look at his stupid face. Makes you want to punch that face.
I know. It's just like, no, I just want to throat punch him the most.
Hey, Tyrex, gold left, so.
It's understandable. I mean, gold left too. It must be due to the fact he's tired.
Yeah.
Forgot. but
Let's just finish this up. This
God
train
help me.
wreck.
That I still went along with it. I accepted it. I figured, you know what, fine. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen, but I'm along for the ride. I don't give a shit. I'm buckled in. And honestly, it could have been handled worse. I actually really like Rey in this movie, all things considered. And while I think that the whole plotline is dumb as shit,
I'm done saying a word because, really, also, yeah, I'm not getting into that. Get that username either. I'm done with the whole Rey rant.
I do like that we get to see her deal with some internal conflict. I really liked seeing Rey struggle.
Sorry if I'm being lazy here, but I don't have anything else to say.
I mean, I'm trying to keep myself up. It's just waning me.
Yes.
In this movie. I like that at one point she's just so fucking tired that she can't even beat Kylo Ren in a fight.
Yeah, and we're fucking tired too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If your logic, argument, and punchable attitude, personality.
I enjoy that this movie takes a lot out of her. Hell, she fucking dies at the end. I've never been one to say
Not really, dude. Not really.
Yeah.
she's a Mary Sue, but it's nice to see her face some new trials.
Whoa, Here's the guy who called Sabine a Mary Sue.
And hates Sabine because she is a Mary Sue.
Can you guys understand why I might be a little disappointed in this kind of storytelling? She couldn't be more Mary Sue unless she was also Force sensitive, which at this point wouldn't even really surprise me.
Try to say that to Anakin Skywalker. Won't work. Try to say that to Luke Skywalker. Won't work. Won't work.
Say it to Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker. Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
This movie. I think people have been giving Rey a very bad rep for some pretty bad reasons. Most people just say they don't like her because she's too strong, but I don't know, it doesn't bother me. I personally don't really mind seeing a character who is good at things in Star Wars. All the other main characters in Star Wars are really good at stuff. Oh, how come Obi-Wan can defeat a Sith Lord all by himself when his master couldn't even do that? How come Luke is really good at using the Force without getting any training? Star Wars characters are really lucky and they're really good at shit because they're the main characters of a stupid action-adventure series. Yet people only care that Rey is really good at shit and it drives me fucking crazy, man. However, I hate that her story is the only one that matters here. If you're not a Jedi or a Sith, then you are basically not in this movie. The whole emotional core of this movie revolves around Rey, Kylo, Palpatine, and Leia to some extent. All of these regular, non-Force sensitive people just don't matter at all. Nobody else in the whole movie has an interesting character arc. And this is most offensive in the case of Finn. Finn is supposed to be our other main character. And he's so underused in this trilogy.
Because they were catering towards the racist Chinese.
Of course.
He goes from having one of the most complete character arcs in the first movie to getting nothing for
wimp in that same
two
movie. We went like a wimp in the same first movie. Kylo just pretty much ended Finn's life at this
movies in a row. In this one, it's heavily implied that he's Force sensitive, but they don't do anything with it. Then he meets a character who also abandoned the First Order, and they don't do anything with it. I could write a 3-movie Finn story arc with my fucking eyes closed and my hands tied behind my back. You have so many opportunities with him, and it drives.
And it's gonna be simple, and it would fail.
Yep.
Yes.
Simple.
Star Wars should, and you want to write it like Star Wars should be simple. Remember?
Star Wars should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple.
You mama make me happy.
You mama make me happy.
It drives me crazy that he's wasted this badly. They did my boy so dirty. And then we have Poe, who only has an arc in The Last Jedi, and then spends this whole movie just driving the fucking spaceships for the other characters. There's one point where they kind of have a
Because he's a pilot, that's why.
little argument, and Finn says something that kind of cuts to his core, and he's a little sad about it, but then they get over it and they're friends again, so, I don't know, fuck me, I guess. Rose is apparently in this movie. She only has 2 fucking lines because people bullied her so hard that Disney was too cowardly to let her do anything. Charlie from Lost has more lines than Rose. I'm not lying. I counted. We have these Knights of Ren guys who are basically the new General Grievous because they come out of nowhere without any explanation.
Except General Grievous is more developed than those guys and had lines.
Explanation, and they only exist to give a character a cool fight scene. We have this really cool flashback where we see young Luke and Leia training, and I kind of enjoyed this scene until I realized that it doesn't make any sense. Because in this scene, we learn that Leia had a premonition that if she became a Jedi, her son would die. So she doesn't become a Jedi, and her son dies anyway. This whole movie is just structured so badly. Like, this is the kind of...
Because they're using remnants of, Colin Trevorrow's plot.
Movie that feels like it was written by 500 people. This movie also has 4 fake out death scenes. If it had 1, I would be kind of annoyed. If it had 2, I would be pretty upset. If it had 3, I would be furious. But 4 really is the magic number because now it's just fucking hilarious. First, Chewbacca
okay, I find it funny that people, including Ralph the Movie Maker, use tag as there's like 5 movie, like the plies because like 5 movies, yet they're perfectly fine with this. Mainly the first 2, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, for having totally not 5 or more different movies spread around there and to bubble around as a plot, quote unquote. Epoxy is full finest.
Dies, and at first I thought it was real. I fully expected this movie to be so dumb that it would unceremoniously kill Chewbacca off screen. I really had that little faith in this movie. But then he comes back after 2 scenes, and then C-3PO gets a fake out death. I say death because his memory wipe basically serves as a self-sacrifice. It's presented as
And another universe-breaking moment is R2 using a way to get his memory back. And his memory got back. Wow, totally pointless.
Yep.
Yeah.
the death of a character. But no, he gets his memory back and he's just back to normal. And then Kylo Ren gets a fake out death where Rey stabs him and then just heals him right afterwards. And then Rey gets a fake out death when she dies fighting Palpatine. This movie is just so fucking manipulative. And these last two deaths are fixed with the same plot device. In this movie, we can just use the Force to bring people back to life. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind when we see the Force used in new ways, but I mind when the Force is just treated like fucking plot magic. This movie has two...
Oh, I wonder what the previous two...
Yeah.
Force healing. Why could Obi-Wan use force healing to heal Qui-Gon Jinn from dying?
Yeah, like it's Anomaly had that explanation in his Massacre of Star Wars. Oh yeah, and yeah, that means Anakin can be healed from burning and his limbs lost, and he would have saved Anakin, and Palpatine would have done it too, possibly, and Obi-Wan could have saved Padme from dying of childbirth.
Yep.
And Vader had a possible could have a high chance of being redeemed.
Much force. Palpatine shoots a fucking Kamehameha wave into the sky to destroy the hero's spaceships. This movie demystifies the Force so much. And honestly, after this movie, I don't want to see any more fucking Jedi for a while. I feel like this movie uses the Force to solve problems way too often. Oh, they need to destroy the enemy signal tower, but they don't know where it is. That's okay. Finn uses the Force to sense which ship it's on. Oh, we need to turn Kylo Ren into a good guy. That's okay. Leia's gonna use the Force to tell him to chill out. Oh no, Rey has been defeated. But that's okay. She's gonna use the Force to get all of the dead Jedi to motivate her to get up and keep fighting. And then when she dies, they use the Force to just bring her back to life. I wouldn't mind these things individually. In a vacuum,
It's just so fucking universe breaking. I was like literally just my head started exploding.
this is all fine. But this movie uses the Force to explain everything that happens in the movie. It's so lazy and messy. The only thing in this movie that kinda works for me is Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren has the only arc that is carried through every movie. But the funny thing is that they clearly wanted to use Leia to bring him to the light side, but then Carrie Fisher died and they had no way of making it convincing. So he just gets stabbed and he sees Han and then he decides to be a good guy. I give it the benefit of the doubt considering how little they had to work with, but still, it's like every good thing in this movie is cursed to be a little disappointing. And honestly, it's not fair to say that The Last Jedi ruined this movie. This movie is flawed because 80% of it is devoted to trying to undo The Last Jedi, which is just a cowardly thing to do. That's not The Last Jedi's fault, that's Disney's fault for thinking they have to make this reactionary Star Wars movie to make up for the movie that some people didn't like.
And yet you contradicted yourself by praising Disney, but yet you don't like their decision in The Rise of Skywalker.
Shame on you, soy cuck.
If they just fucking went along with what that movie set up, then people wouldn't be upset. Star Wars should not be written by a committee. You actually need to plan out a 3-movie storyline. I am so...
And
ironic.
now you fucking said it.
Ironic of you to say that.
And also, get that
fucking
bitch out of
amazed
my
and
face.
shocked that
Get
they
that
didn't plan
bitch
out
of my
the
face.
basic plot of...
How surprising. How surprising.
all 3 movies. Who the fuck does that? Even George Lucas planned out the prequels. He didn't do a good job.
Oh, contradictory after contradictory.
Fuck you, Marcus. Fuck you for saying that. Why can't you just say that where you're not sucking up Mr. Plinkett's little squidgy little beast-sized dick? Why can't you just say that where you're not following that bullshit prequel hating narrative, that bullshit sequel trilogy shilling, Disney Star Wars shilling narrative? Jesus Christ, who raised you?
I don't fucking know anymore.
This screenshot, this pause here.
But at least he knew how to write the fucking synopsis down. Honestly, in some sick and twisted way, this is the most appropriate conclusion to the sequels. People have been arguing about these movies since they started, and now the last one is easily the most divisive because it has too much shit in it. And if you can turn your brain off...
And yeah, too much action. Yeah.
Brain off. He mentions turn your brain off. Well, guess what, Marcus? You turned your brain off in the prequels. You turned your brain off in Rogue One. You turned your brain off in the Disney in sequel trilogy. You turned your brain. Well, I don't know about Rise of Skywalker though, but you turned your brain off in Solo. So contradictory. Another contradictory. But ding.
Yes.
And just go along for the ride. This movie isn't that bad. If you want a movie that actually wants to say something and has themes, then you are going to be upset. Personally, I ride the line between these two groups, and I would really like if Star Wars challenged me again and showed me new stuff, but I know I'm not always gonna get that.
Then what was the point of you saying Star Wars should be simple?
Star Wars should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple.
Yeah. See, Rick really made a point. They're not film critics. They're just long rants. long dictatorship against a
That's
creative.
the yeah, like how critics nowadays are pretty much just saying things that practically don't make much sense, how they don't really get their facts straight or right, how they go off on tangents and such. Shall I go on, or is that good enough?
In fact, you fought the critics before the 2010s were either average or shit at the job of critiquing things, and you haven't seen how millennials and Gen X ways of critiquing things. They just go by the AVGN type of critique and just apply it into movies or TV, like praising or criticizing surface visuals instead of actually going in depth. Always nitpicking. Always, if he, this is the reason why that 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 these quote unquote critics, including Oliver Harper, just usually praise like schlocky action movies, mainly Van Damme, mainly like Schwarzenegger, Stallone, or like Van Damme movies from the 80s and 90s, from 70s, 80s, and 90s. But they always lose their shit over a creator's vision, i.e., George Lucas, and they have no problem shilling for the MCU, no problem shilling for a narrative, and no problem shilling for propaganda, no problem blindly shilling for something, and also and also and also just. It's just not good film critics in general. Just praising the surface visual, including the music. Yes, granted, yes, I do not like Hans Zimmer current music. But, but should I? But should I go out and dictate Hans Zimmer? No, no, I would not. I would like him to improve because early stuff is great, and seeing him going downhill is just. But I'm not going out here and critique. Go out here and dictate on what he should or should not do.
This movie isn't the worst Star Wars movie ever. The prequels are still worse, but this one is definitely very low on the totem pole. 6 out of 10. Good
So you rather watch...
Lord, I'm finally done.
Well, good Lord, we're finally done with you. And you would rather watch this over the prequels, and yet you give it a 6 out of 10, meaning you like this film. And
yeah, that makes no sense.
It makes no fucking sense. I'm just like, oh my fucking good Lord, your logic is so over the fucking place.
Oh, it's backwards. Because it's during time when the Rooster Skywalker was in theaters. Fucking Christ, he never mentioned Palpatine's death. Oh, I'll go on another fucking rant of why the spoiled Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of those bullshit, cheap, cheap pro spoiling moments in fucking movie history. Please don't post that. I don't want to see it anymore. Because I got the Indiana Jones box set. I want to watch it with a new frame of mind. I just don't want. I'm tired of it being a meme. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it being used as a jump scare. I'm tired of it being used as a homage. I mean, it's cool back in the 80s when movies like The Howling 2 and Fright Night does it, but Jesus, and The Fly 2 does it. Jesus Christ, enough of that shit. Like, what
enough
else?
is enough.
What else is next? What else is next? Total Recall. Eyes pop.
Alright, guys, so we talked about all of them. Now we gotta rank all of them. So let's go from worst to best, starting with Episode 1, The Phantom Man. Episode 1 is
The Phantom Man. Oh my god, let's get used to those shitty jokes.
This is the problem I have with it. I got a newspaper from USA Today. It has a butthurt millennial, written by a butthurt millennial who has Last Jedi in the lowest place possible. It usually follows the same narrative. Prequels below, the sequel trilogies around the middle or top, and the original trilogies are somewhere in the middle, but mostly on the top. I hate that stuff. And also use in my opinion, I sometimes use a shield, but I hate that. This is why This is why I can't take these people who always do that same stupid crap seriously. It's just the same thing over and over. Give me something new. Give me a new perspective from your take, not just parrot off of what someone else said. Press on.
Lowest because I glean almost no enjoyment from it. Pod racing is only fun the first time you see it, and the final battle is just emotionally
It's always been fun.
empty. I also
But it is emotional.
to this day do not fully understand the plot. This movie
And I understand the plot just fine.
Me too. Same with Reptile.
is straight up poodoo. Episode 2, Attack of the Boys. The only reason it's
Attack of the Boys.
Attack of the Clones is higher than Phantom Menace is because Attack of the Clones is hilarious. It just so happens
Hilarious, and yet you just went into a punchable voice mode that I wish I can throat punch you. When you just said, this man said a man who said a man who said a shapeshifter who said a robot who said bugs to go kill Padme.
Palpatine sends a man who sends a man who sends a shapeshifter who sends a robot who sends bugs to go kill Padme. And what's even funnier is that after they chase the robot and the shapeshifter, Jango has a chance to go kill Padme. But instead, he goes out of his way to assassinate the person he hired to assassinate Padme.
In fact, it is a changeling, not a shapeshift, you dumbass soy boy.
Yeah. Good grief.
And your logic saying that your precious Disney garbage is like highly regarded as Star Wars than the original creator who had his own vision.
that I can get a lot more enjoyment out of watching this with my friends. Both of these movies are honestly equal to me, and the only way I can place one higher than the other is by deciding which one doesn't put me to sleep. That I can get a lot more enjoyment out of watching this with my friends. Both of these
So you just go and meme with your friends instead and just turn it off.
movies are honestly equal to me, and the only way I can place one higher than the other is by deciding which one doesn't put me to sleep. And I can't fall asleep if I'm laughing the whole time.
I can't fall asleep.
If you think this movie's cringy, just put it below the Phantom Menace. I'm about as angry as Anakin Skywalker now. I see them with Tusken Raiders, sand people. I killed them all, and they're dead. Not just the women, not just the men, and the children too. And I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them. Cinematically illiterate. I'm a Jedi. I know I'm better than this. Nah, fuck it. Turn off your brain. We're having fun.
Episode 3, Revengeance. Sorry guys, this movie still is not good. Honestly, a lot of people rank this one higher than they have any right to. I liked it when I was
Now you do an objective statement. Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
I just got back from watching Revenge of Sith a day ago with audio commentary involved, and it was informative as fuck. And now I'm seeing this soy boy still does not get what he's actually seeing when it comes to the prequel, because he wants to regurgitate Red Letter Media, even though Marcus clearly enjoyed them before he went into that stupid mindset. Well, stupid Disney Star Wars / Red Letter Media mindset.
I was a kid, but it's not good now. This movie is just as flawed as the other prequels.
Go back a little. Go back a little.
Not good.
Go back a little.
Honestly, a lot of people rank this one higher than they have any right to. I liked it when I was a kid, but it's not good now.
Wow. Yeah, I knew it. Knew it.
Because but now after you regurgitate from Red Letter Media, you don't enjoy it.
I mean, to give Ramble Rap for Life, to give a shout here. Granted, yet I don't agree with his now new episode 2 review, which is also a rant. I don't agree with a lot of things, but to give him credit, at least he's being honest, straight up saying that he was blind by Red Letter Media, and he deleted his old goals because they're not his voice. And it's pretty much him regurgitating. And he admits that when he saw them in theaters, he thought they were pretty good, and fine and pretty good. So And also, what happened to female characters like Aayla Secura? Sexiness has now been wasted by feminism. More more or less revealing clothes. Oh, God help me.
This movie is
Censorship.
just as flawed as the other prequels. Search your feelings, you'll know it to be true. Star Wars Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This is where we go from basically unwatchable movies to decent, if not forgettable. The next 3 movies are all kind of on the same level for me, and Rogue One is awesome in the last third, but everything else before that is really
That's all we can feel right now.
dumb and boring. The characters all have bad motivations and you don't really like most of them. But that last third is pretty good. Episode 9, Rise of Skyman. This movie is a
Rise of Sky.
No Man's Sky, basically.
fucking mess, but it's a crowd-pleasing mess. It was literally just made to try and piss off the least amount of people, and in that
Including me, that pissed me off.
process, we got a movie that you can never really love, but also never really hate. Carried only by the fact that I actually genuinely love some of these characters and wish that they were in a better finale. Episode 6, Return of the Jam Band. Yes.
Return of the Jam Band. I'm just literally just face palming at every fucking joke he makes.
Gosh, I don't get it.
I know I am always way too mean to this movie, but honestly, I just can't stay awake while watching it. It is ranked higher though because it has a good emotional plot with Luke and Vader. That story is the best part by far. Episode 8, The Last Johnson. The Last
Johnson.
Oh
God. Jedi is weird for me because sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. And it just so happens that you guys caught me on a day when I like it. I really love the last half of this movie, minus this one part, and the story of Luke saves this movie so hard for me. I think it's
Yeah, whatever you say.
honestly done perfectly. This movie is
Good.
actually trying to fucking say something different. It has flaws, but I have to give props to the only Star Wars movie that tried something new. Star Wars Solo: A Starman Story. I love this movie so fucking much, man. This movie and the next entry are almost tied for me, and this one's only lower because the brightness is too low and because they had to put Darth Maul in the movie for no reason. But aside from those things, I just have so much fun watching this movie. I put this one on all the time, and when I meet someone who doesn't watch a lot of Star Wars, I show them this movie and they actually end up enjoying it a lot. This is the kind of
They'll be bored to tears.
Star Wars movie I like, small scale adventures. Episode 7, The Fucking Awakening. This movie is just so
The Fucking Awakening.
easy to like. Yes, it's a retread of a lot of things that we're familiar with, but I don't care. I like that stuff. It's fun. I like Finn. I like Kylo Ren. I like how this movie focuses more on Han and where he's at. The lightsaber fight is really fucking good because it's not an over choreographed excessive mess. It's just two people trying to overpower
Oh yeah, it is a mess.
or someone who's naturally stronger than them. This movie reminded me why I love Star Wars. It doesn't need to fucking change my worldview. It's pure distilled Star Wars, and there's
Star Wars should be simple. Remember?
Star Wars should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple.
Also, you can tell by that moment where of General of Hux and the stormtroopers in that scene, but basically it's equivalent of Disney pandering to, well, you guys know.
There's nothing wrong with that. Episode 5, The Emperor Stands Up. Now
The Emperor stands up. Leia, just look at Leia, just like with these jokes.
Terrible.
Yeah, she'd rather get stoned.
This is where we get to the good
Oh,
shit,
special
baby.
reference.
It's kind of funny because everything before this is just okay, but
And
this
this is the movie I saw in theaters a couple days ago.
one's actually really fucking good.
Dude, is it worth it seeing it in theaters?
Yeah, it was. Because it's part of the Lucas 6 after all.
Why? Oh yeah, I'm wondering why they never show on Return of Jedi or New Hope or the prequel. Oh right, it's the 40th anniversary. I forgot.
Yeah, that's why. It's playing in theaters a lot.
And he asked my dad.
I had fun.
How many days is this movie going to run in theaters?
I have no idea.
Okay,
Honestly.
see picks. I need to tell my dad. I
Star Wars
don't
is just
have Empire Strikes Back on any home video format. I need to get the 2004 on my screen Star Wars trilogy on DVD box set because I don't own the Blu-ray drive. Sadly.
just like that. This movie is the movie that everything else is trying to recapture, for better or for worse. This is the height of Star Wars in every aspect. Lovable characters that all have their own stories to explore, the hero's journey, intense space encounters, the best lightsaber fight in the whole series.
Nope,
sorry,
that goes
overrated.
to Obi-Wan versus
Overrated.
Anakin.
Overrated.
This is the best.
Overrated. I mean,
I would say this or either the Luke versus Vader and Return of the Jedi are like the best in the original trilogy, but it doesn't beat the prequel ones.
Not to mention how this one has some. This one has some like New Hope. This one is thing, but it still has serious flaws, especially when like the blade powers down. You never get to see them properly power down.
The choreography is not up to date yet. That's why.
And a good twist that leads to an exciting cliffhanger. Star Wars has not been this good since this movie came out, and it's gonna take a lot of work for it to reach this level again. And finally, Star Wars Episode 4, Star Wars. I'm not fucking calling it A New Hope anymore, that title sucks.
Yeah, whatever you want to fucking say, you OG OT fanboy, or just a guy who likes the prequel trilogy, who, as a kid, but then hates it now because he's been brainwashed by Red Letter Media.
Also, Oliver Harper prefers Star Wars over A New Hope because Red Letter Media and also Hello Greedo and also T. I prefer New Hope or Star Wars because Star Wars is basically equivalent as just saying the entire franchise as a whole.
And I'll make this very clear.
Because hence Prince Leia said, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are our only hope." Hence, A New Hope.
Yes.
I'll make it clear.
Whatever people said, I prefer New Hope over Star Wars when it comes to Episode 4. What were we saying, Reptile? Sorry for coming off.
Alright. What I'm trying to say is, Ty, you're making your own series, right?
Yeah.
At least you're pretty much putting a little more time into them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need any help with certain characters, aka obvious, let me know, and I'll let you in on things.
Alright.
Okay, let's finish this.
This one may surprise people because everybody puts Empire at the top. Well, those people are clowns.
Fuck you.
God help me. It's the same people think.
Well, it's either Empire or Revenge of the Sith, mostly.
Yeah, but these are the same people think that Empire Strikes Back is dark, great. No, it's not.
Look at Revenge of the Sith. Hold my beer.
Yes.
My
Star
third
Wars.
eye is.
Episode 4 hasn't aged well. I should put a number like number 3 or 4.
I find
4.
this movie to be overrated.
Same.
I love it
same.
though. I definitely do love it. I find it to be like my least favorite of the Lucas 6.
Oh, what a original trilogy! It was a part way to like hero's journey. Prequels did not, bruh. This is a hero's journey, but the prequels, on the other hand, is a mixture between Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Bram Stoker's Dracula. Not the films
And William Shakespeare.
the books.
Stories.
Yes, exactly. And also James Dean movies, and also James Dean in terms of Anakin's own charisma and behavior.
And also Jar Jar Binks scenes were made from old classic slapstick comedy.
Including a certain someone, I forgot his name, Charlie Chaplin, and also Goofy, and also a little bit of Scarecrow.
truly open, and I am here to tell you all that this really is the best Star Wars movie of all time.
It's most
Okay.
overrated.
Yeah, this is overrated in my book.
It is an expertly crafted
Loved it,
film. It is
though.
the only Star Wars movie that I would call a masterpiece, an actual.
It's got
is-
flaws in it.
It is, but there are films that surpass it, in my opinion.
Also, Cosmonaut, I hate telling you this, but if you didn't see the Empire Dreams documentary, no, it's not. I'm not referring to the game Klonoa, the GBA game Klonoa, Empire Dreams. I'm referring to the documentary Empire of Dreams, back in 2004. When you watch the New Hope part of the section of the documentary, you can tell George Lucas was in a lot of stress. ILM in his first footings, in his first footings into visual effects, is having a hard time because some of them are doesn't have the discipline, doesn't have the obedience and disciplining methods like they used to in today's time. And even after Stars came out, A New Hope came out in '77. So basically, New Hope was basically a troubled. It wasn't. Basically, A New Hope is pretty much equivalent of a troubled production. Probs weren't working. Fox even threatened to shut. I don't know if go say threatened. Even threatened, even quote unquote, semi quote unquote, threatened to shut the production down. They originally slated for a Christmas '76 release, but they couldn't because they're days and weeks behind. Not to mention, yeah, everything is a mess. But they immediately pulled it off. Anyway, press on.
Good movie. A movie that is so well paced and so well made that it should stand alongside the other greatest films of all time. I am not exaggerating. I speak no hyperbole. I genuinely mean every word I'm saying right now. The effects are truly revolutionary to the point where they still.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, but now it's dated. I'm so glad Lucas updated them with CG and also digital miniature models and the special editions.
It's like when Watch Mojo said in the top 10 why the prequels suck. They said whatever was real felt real.
The setting felt real. The action felt real. The visual effects felt.
Yeah, reading someone's article who regurgitates
Watch Mojo.
Yeah, it's like Watch Mojo is not good.
Did these people ever get tired of regurgitating? I'm just pointing out here. I'm no medical expert. We'll get bored.
Hold up today. You'll watch this movie and still wonder how the fuck they did some of this stuff. It is the most solid movie, to the point where you won't even notice how good it is, and that's why I think it's the best. This movie is the reason we have Marvel movies. It's the reason.
No.
Kind of different, but I think it's the CGI from the prequels that grandfathered the MCU movie.
Also, the Lord of the Rings too. In terms of visual effects.
Yes.
Reason we have any of these summer blockbusters that we love so
Also
much.
pretty much
My
inspired,
mind cannot be changed. If you
parodies
watch this
such
movie
as,
and
like,
really
from Family Guy and Spaceballs.
And also, Roger Corman did his own take with Battle Beyond the Stars. And also, keep in mind, Battle Beyond the Stars. Not only was one of the earlier special effects were very young and the then unknown James Cameron. It was also one of the first scoring projects. Keep that in mind, it's not the first, but one of the first scoring projects by then alive and then young James Horner, who was accused of copy and pasting, even though explains his whole painting method of musical painting. Somehow George Lucas applies a visual painting when it comes to his own movies. Criticizing James Horner for copy and pasting scores, but gave no shit about Jerry Goldsmith and other composers, including Michael Kamen, Alan Silvestri, and even John Williams, doing the same method in their scores, and they get praised in Brian points with it. What the hell? But pretty much. Pretty much. It's pretty much. I won't say this started the MCU movies. The prequels and the Lord of the Rings movies start in terms of visual effects started that. So give ILM and Weta Digital credit for that, for pioneering that shit. For pioneering, I mean, I'm sorry, not shit, but pioneering this amazing stuff that would be impossible to do in the 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, even the pre 1990, in the 90s before 1999. So, saying.
Immerse yourself and pretend that you're a person sitting in the theater in the 70s, you will love this movie as much as me. Believe me. Nothing makes this movie better than watching it in the right mindset. This one is a true masterpiece. I'm done. It's over. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel a little bit weird right now. Because when I just looked at...
Oh, great. You're putting on... Of course, there's another trap. You're putting us at trap after trap again with John Williams music.
My ranking, and honestly, I can't say I even love all of these movies.
Finally, you admit.
But at the end of the day, I still like Star Wars. But I grew up with this franchise, and yes, it is manipulative, and yes, it brainwashed me, but damn it, I like seeing space wizards fighting each other, and I don't care who knows it. It's not a stretch to say that Star Wars is the most popular franchise in the whole world. That's a lot of people watching the stream, with a lot of different perspectives.
Try Godzilla in Space! Star Wars edition!
Star Wars Boogaloo.
I'm not even kidding, that was a thing.
To me, Star Wars is kind of like a...
Oh, yeah, Star Wars in Space? Or what?
Godzilla in Space.
Oh,
have
yeah.
Have you heard of a Godzilla villain named Base Godzilla?
Yes.
yeah.
Family member. Each movie is its own thing. Right now, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that I only like 2 movies in the original trilogy.
3, basically. Because you gave Return of the Jedi a 6 out of 10, remember.
1.5 movies in the new trilogy.
Actually, all 3 as well, because you gave 1.5, well, more like you gave Last Jedi a 7 and Rise of Skywalker a 6 out of 10, so you like
You know what? You know what? This guy is pretty much the equivalent of prostituting himself onto these movies.
And a few parts of one movie in the prequels.
You mean, just half of the prequels you enjoyed, in which you enjoyed 3 of them as a kid.
That's fine with me. The fact that I don't like all of them doesn't stop me from enjoying the ones I do like. Star Wars can't ruin my childhood because I still feel the same things when I watch the movies.
Can't ruin. You contradicted yourself yet again.
And that smile perfectly sums up everything. It sums up how I feel when Cosmonaut always contradicts himself. He doesn't get it.
Enjoy. I still feel inspired when I watch A New Hope, even if I'm watching a version where Greedo shoots first. I still like the final battle in Phantom Menace.
It's just a freaking minor thing!
Whoa, you like the final battles, but you just call it emotionless?
Contradictory with this man. You have such a great track record.
I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions.
It's almost impossible to count without even paying full attention to your stupid little punchable soy boy voice. About Soy's Ian Flynn's voice.
Yep.
And I can enjoy Rogue One while still making fun of it. Star Wars.
It's like memeing with your friends.
Wars is dumb. It's dumb and it's fun. And as long as someone is making these movies, I'm probably going to watch them. And regardless if they're good or not, I'm going to find some way to enjoy myself.
Oh, it's Super Nintendo
Thank you for watching my...
Iron Sunset, thank God.
Yeah, but... Yeah, that's why I, didn't pause every time. Because I was, noticing... Oh, it's video game remix. Okay.
It's from Super Star Wars, so...
YouTube videos. I'm going to go to bed now.
Yes, same here.
Hey guys, thanks for watching these videos I made. These took a lot out of me, so I'm probably going to rest after this. If you only see one video from me next month, that is why. Also, if you like this, you can do the Patreon thing. Don't you want to join those lovely people on the right side of the screen? Oh,
No, thank you. But these people do think you have a pretty good track record.
I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions.
I will say. I even think you have a really good track record, too.
I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions.
And oh gosh, my name is there. No.
And if you want some other content, we make a tabletop role-playing podcast called Cosmonaut Tabletop. People are asking me to plug that show more often, and you know what? They're right. So if you're dissatisfied with the way Star Wars ended, just watch that show. We got a Star Wars campaign and a D&D campaign.
No, thank you.
It's good, I promise. I'm not biased. That's Cosmonaut.
Oh, not. Oh my god. Anything else? Are you done? Are you done? Are you fucking done?
Tabletop on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. And I don't have anything else to say. Don't drink and drive, eat your vitamins, and don't sharpen your pencil while the teacher's talking. Bye-bye.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know, but...
And wait, it's over. It's finally over! I never have to watch another Cosmonaut video for the rest of my life. I never have to hear that cuckold's voice ever again. I never have to torture myself with his terrible humor and awful logic and punchable face ever again. Huzzah! Who fucking Ray? Well, everyone, that brings us to a close, I'm afraid.
Yes, and that brings us to a close with
highest.
Cosmonaut. Finally.
Christ, it was my brain the Cosmonaut melted my mind. The Cosmonaut melted my mind. I'm sorry. No Kevin Smith reference intended.
And it puts me to sleep because I want to go to fucking sleep now because I have work tomorrow.
Same.
But you know what? We're done with Cosmonaut, with Cosmo Cunt, and you know what?
Excuse me. I got other John Williams music I need to listen to: The Lectures of Eastwick, Born on 4th of July, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. After that, on the 90s, where I'm going to tackle John Williams' 90s scores, and the very last one is The Phantom Menace. I can find, and then when I get to the John Williams scores in the 90s, I can finally tackle The Phantom Menace as the last one. No more. It's just because I just finished listening to the scores to the original trilogy, and they were great. And I want to revisit to those pretty cool trilogy scores.
That's a good plan right there.
Also, you know what? We're gonna probably gonna do Dumbsville next week on his take with Raylo.
Yes.
It's gonna be interesting, all right?
Yeah, and this one won't take as long because
Phil's not that bad a guy, actually.
Yeah, I do enjoy his content.
Too bad. It's a shame that he never got around to making that Ian Flynn video. What's the point of saving that Ian Flynn part for another video in your John Gray video? Just say that you're not an expert. Just say if you're an expert. Just say that. But I'm not an expert on Flynn, even though I used to be pro Ian Flynn, not anymore. So if you want a true rant on Ian Flynn, look very hard for videos that actually rants on Flynn once. Oh boy, why can you say that in your John Gray video, Jumps? Why can't you just say that instead?
I was thinking pretty much talking about, well, I'm not going to say the name, but let's just say there's one guy who really took art a little too personal and acted out on others, aka us in the group. But I am either I should or not, depends on the group and such. I don't know. At some point, maybe. If things act up.
Also, we might do Guptil 89's video in the future.
Cheers.
Also, this also comes to my attention. Should we react to video if it's available? Because YouTube Ember told me he watched Oliver Harper's prequel commentaries and they were terrible. He said they were terrible, but Oliver got rid of them. I assume after I confronted Oliver and his goons in Oliver Harper's server about the Star Wars prequels and how they're regurgitating relatively bullcrap. But I think it's still up, but I'm not totally sure. If not, and I have no choice but to give you. If it's not up, then I have to give you the original video files. Because I didn't archive his prequel commentaries, but I did archive his The Rise of Skywalker quote unquote review. I think I can give it to you. So it's not live anymore.
No.
So good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay.
So guys, I'm gonna be going to bed because I have work tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed the last session of Cosmo Cuck's stream take on the Star Wars films. This is Mr. Tyrex.
And the Dragon Lover.
And this is Grand Harbor Neutral Guy. May the Force be with you. With great power comes great responsibility. Solo lost money. Sequel trilogy sucks. Raylos are weird. Ian Flynn can suck my dick. Ken Penders for the win. George Lucas for the win. And stay safe. Wash your hands. And
Farewell, my fellow dragons.
And take care.
Bye.